everybody say hello to Twitch. Hello, Twitch.
No.
Hello to Twitch.
Hi, Koyudai.
You're
Thanks
not
for
my
joining
real
us in
dad,
chat.
Eugene.
You don't know that.
Ooh.
Jerry.
I mean, I feel like I do, but
Point taken. Point taken.
Well, that's only half the equation. What about your mom?
I mean, she's
Because
white.
your mom can change your skin tone too, Lucas.
Well, yeah, but not to such a degree. I would still be a
don't
little
know.
black.
I don't know. Maybe you're just a black person that hasn't seen the sun ever.
Oh shoot! I need to post the. I guess it's good.
It's just getting weirder, man.
I'm gonna post
What I
the Patreon post.
Oh yeah, the Hunter's Hut.
Yep. There's Justin.
Hi, Justin.
Hola. Muchas
Okay,
gracias.
I'm here now.
Hola.
Are you recording?
Not yet. I'm going to in just a moment.
It's okay because I forgot to
Testing.
post the Hunter's Hub, so I'm gonna do that right now too.
All right. Oh, look, my microphone's actually in the frame. Okay.
Since we are recording, let's go ahead and sync up. In 3, 2, 1.
God damn it. If you get that stuck in my head again, I'm going to kill you.
9 minutes 47 seconds before I forget.
9:47. I don't know what song that was. Was that from like Hanson? Mbop? Is that where you at, Hanson?
No,
It
it's
was my horse on fire.
I can't remember who that is, but yeah, that's what it was.
But it was 301.
Patreon is down. Perfect. I'm going to I'm gonna Discord the two people that are
I'm gonna win.
Hunters Hub people. This
Yeah.
Zoom link.
It's the benefit of having our two highest patrons also be two of our closest friends.
Yeah, right.
So, all right. So this camera clearly isn't as sensitive as the USB one because I'm very dark. I've got a third light on me, so hopefully I'm not too dark. But
I mean, I'm mildly green, so
yeah.
My
Is that
videos
you or
are
is that the room?
I think
No,
you
the
look
room
all
is
right,
actually-
Justin.
room's
Okay.
actually kind of like brown and purple, so I don't really know what's
Oh.
going on.
Yeah, so when I disappeared a few minutes ago, that was my computer randomly restarting on me. So
Okay, well.
but
Hopefully
my recording
that's all.
my recording is on my iPhone, so at the very least if you lose me, we won't have to resync.
Oh, do you have the snowball hooked up to your iPhone,
Yep.
all rigged up? Ha!
Yep.
That's fancy
So
pants.
in fact, if this works out, I may do this all the time because, again, it saves us if, we lose me in the call and the computer crashes or whatever. I can just, jump right in whenever.
Yeah, as long as the audio sounds okay, I have no qualms with that. Hey, listeners, I just got the Patreons up again, so I'm just posting the post here real quick for Patreon, and then we're going to get the show started.
I hate you, Lucas.
Why? Because I'm playing Smash right now, or because I got my horse on fire, Elvira?
Because you got Elvira stuck in my head.
I've never
And goddamn,
even heard that song.
it's gonna bother me if I don't look up who it is. Oak Ridge Boys, I think.
Your guess is as good or better than mine.
Of course, now I have to play with the thing that's recording, so that's safe, I'm sure.
All right, I'm ready. Does anybody need anything before we hit the show?
Oak Ridge Boys. I was right. I think I'm good. I got my coffee. I got my tea. I got the Java Jive, and it's got me.
So I guess let's talk real quick about how we're going to do the top 5. I know that's not where we're hitting first.
Oh, shit. I need to think of my fifth. Continue.
When we do that, are we gonna want to start at the bottom and then maybe go in a rotation and then until we get to
how
one?
I think we should do it.
Yeah, I mean, mine are in no particular order, so if somebody picks one that's already on my list, I'll just, piggyback off of them.
Mine is gonna be in 1 to 5 order. I have an order.
Same. I have an order as well. So
I created an order just now.
good man.
Very nice.
Ooh,
Okay.
I know who my 5th is.
Well, then I am going to
In fact, that might be my number 1.
publish this post, and then we'll get started.
Publish this post.
Make a note here. Show start. All right.
Make my text
I'm
bigger.
gonna mute myself and start the intro music. So here we go.
Gene, we can't hear you or your music.
It's because I don't got my goddamn B button on. Hold on.
Your A's and your B's, Eugene.
Here we go. B button's
Are you
on.
using an
Muted
Xbox
myself
controller?
Justin
again.
was trying to fake you out, though.
Literally, I was like, "Oh, this is going great." I was like, "Wait a minute, it's not showing up on my adapt. Wait a minute, Lucas looks like he can't hear anything."
I didn't realize Eugene wasn't aware that the music wasn't playing. So, I was...
All right,
That had
take
to-
2, kids. Take 2. Did you know that Infendo Radio is supported by viewers like you? You can go to patreon.com/Infendo Radio and throw us a few bones.
We put the donkey in Donkey Kong. Infendo Radio is on now.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Infendo Radio. This is episode number 476. This is the 16th of July. Damn it, I did it again, huh? I knew I was going to do it again. I did that last week. This is January. I give up. How are you, Steve? You're taking over as the fearful leader.
Oh God, that's back. We're screwed. After the day, I've had 2 Mondays. So yeah,
Monday,
if I'm taking over, this ship's going down, and we're all going. With
Well, Justin, what kind of ship are you sailing? Are you captain of this ship, or are you just like a first mate?
Are you master of your domain? There's an old reference for y'all. I am captaining my new MacBook ship, which hopefully will hold out. I've had a few technical difficulties with it, getting it set up, but I don't know how different I look to you people, but I'm looking at a much more convenient setup for the show. So
Awesome. Well, that's good to hear. Hopefully
also
everything
rocking my
works
Pixel
out.
Mario shirt.
Yeah, we all got the video game shirts. Lucas, what's on your chest?
A lot of hair.
Easy. Can we actually talk about this on air? Or is that Infendo Radio?
Careful.
after hours?
I was going to say, we got 3
Male-presenting
Italians
nipples.
on the show. Should we compare?
Those male-presenting nipples, we
Oh.
might get banned off of Tumblr.
I'm an embarrassment to Italians with my lack of body hair. It's disgusting.
No, it's okay. You're an embarrassment to us, too, so don't worry about it.
Jeez. Lucas,
Wow.
where...
All right,
what
Eugene, I'm putting in my 2 weeks.
Lucas, tell us
Don't make me
something
spit
so that we are
coffee
not
on
an
my new
embarrassment
computer.
anymore. Save us from this.
Did you know that 99% of people who main Isabel in Smash are Latino?
Were you trying to find the least offensive thing to end that with? Or
I thought about like 5 different things, and I was making up like all of the words on the fly as I went. And I just happened to look down and I'm fighting Isabel, so I was like, I can work with this, I guess. And I had to find something to make them that wouldn't like hurt anyone's feelings. So it's like, Latino sounds good.
I mean, you could have gone with Blaxican, and then we at least only have one person to offend.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So, I think we're gonna let Steve take us away for realsies, though, as our fearful leader, because he was actually one to bring us some breaking news this week. So, why don't you talk to us about that?
Breaking news.
I was purposely quiet right there because I want that to be the actual sound for the breaking news segment. So, Eugene, I'm going to need you to clip that out, and that's going to be our breaking news sound from now on.
Fair.
Okay, so I'm going to read you a little bit of an article from RocketLeague.com. And I'm just going to read this one paragraph, and then I'm going to kind of talk about why it's such a big deal. With special thanks to all of our friends and colleagues at PlayStation, we're thrilled to announce that starting right now, Rocket League has entered PlayStation Crossplay Beta Program. Players on PS4, Switch, Xbox One, and Steam can now randomly matchmake with or against each other in all online match types, i.e. casual, competitive, and extra modes. And then it goes into how to make sure crossplay is enabled, which it is by default. So yeah, this is huge news. This is the second game that has gone completely crossplay with all consoles. Sony was not on board at first. Fortnite was the first ones to get Sony to introduce this, what do they call it? The crossplay beta program. Rocket League is the second, and there is speculation that Minecraft will be the next one on the boat.
And I just got to say, Rocket League, while not as big of a game as Fortnite, is certainly a better game than Fortnite. But it's cool to see them getting on it, because at first I figured it was just like them caving to Fortnite, because like literally that's all the world is playing right now. But...
Right, and there is a little bit more to this actually. One thing that Psyonix has been really big on is crossplay. They were the ones that pioneered it, and then Fortnite was the one to kind of get it done, to be the first ones. But Psyonix last year was actually supposed to release, I can't remember exactly what it's called.
That platform that we were talking about.
Yeah, the cross-platform party system.
Yeah.
They do confirm in this article that will be available for the first update of the year. And if I had to guess, sorry, my alarm was going off. I would say that update's going to come around March, which will be about the time the next season launches in Rocket League, if I'm not mistaken. That's strictly hypothesis, though. I have no intel or anything on that.
We should just start a segment that's just like Steve's
predictions.
Yeah, right.
Theories, or it's
it wouldn't be the first time I've done this either.
If you listen to the radio waves, you'll realize that at the end of March.
I just have to give you credit for. I just have to give you a bonus point for properly using the word hypothesis as opposed to theory.
Huh. Nice. Look at me go. So yeah, it is possible right now, by the way, to create private parties. So like if we knew someone on Xbox and PlayStation, we could create a private match, but that's kind of hard to do and very limiting right now. So it'll be much better once they do the cross-platform party system. So I'm stoked. I think this is awesome. I think that smaller games like this, I see PUBG going this way eventually too, just because of how they're doing. But it's definitely going to start with smaller games. But I think by the next console generation, that this is going to be the norm, even for bigger games like Battlefield and Black Ops, and a lot of those type of games. I think if it's coming out for all the consoles, that they're just going to do cross-platform play as a thing. So, and I think that's a really cool step for gamers, because, I'm perfectly happy with my Switch, and if I don't have to buy another system and another online service to play with people on other systems, I'm good with that.
Yeah, this is really there's no downside to this, honestly, at least from a consumer perspective.
Right.
I remember when I got my Xbox One, I was all excited. I'm like, ooh, I have an Xbox One. I can cross-play with my friends on Switch. And then I thought, why the hell would I do that? I already own these games on Switch. Of course, Fortnite's free, but yeah. There's no downside to this. And it, the only reason Sony was holding out was because they thought they were better than everyone. And when they found out that people wanted crossplay, they're like, okay, all right, I guess we'll play with the other kids on the playground.
Oh, people slaughtered them over it. There were so many things on the internet that people were just tearing them apart.
For sure.
I hope that this is the beginning of a new era in gaming where, console wars are a thing of the past. I get so tired of, I hear it in the break room all the time about why, the PlayStation's so much better than the Xbox. I don't know how to let people play the thing that they want. And especially now that you can play with them no matter what they have, there's no reason for anybody to fight over it.
I just don't see it, because people are still going to want to own the best system. They're still going to be comparing graphics and hardware.
Oh yes, but
there's still going to be exclusives,
Well, yeah, and the exclusives are what will appeal to you. But one of the reasons I bought a PlayStation 3 was because I had friends. All right, one of the reasons I bought certain games for certain systems during the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 era was because of the friends who also had that game for that system. Now that there's a possibility that won't be an issue anymore, I can buy the game for whatever system. Like Steve says, if I want to buy the game on the Switch because I prefer to have it on the Switch, and
so to finer,
Eugene wants it on the PlayStation, then as long as we can still play together, what difference?
Yeah, and that's fine. But Eugene, being the PlayStation elitist that he is still going to tell you that your system sucks and can't handle the same types of games that he's.
Right, but at least we can still play games together.
Yeah, so and that's fine.
That's just it, though. Is I think you slightly misspoke your thought a little bit. I think what you meant to say is in the aspect of choosing consoles.
Right.
It's going to be the exclusives now that steer you to the console, not where your friend base is.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean,
crossplay is going to bridge the gap in the multiplayer, but there's always going to be the console wars.
I think that the thing to think about that is, right, like, you're never going to have Mario on PlayStation, right? So you still have to get your Nintendo console to get your Mario.
I don't know. With what Nintendo's president said last week, it's
well,
possible we might see Mario on a PlayStation someday in the future.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll believe that when I have it in my hands. Kind of like Kingdom Hearts 3. When it's in my PlayStation 4, I'll believe it's actually coming out.
Right. Yeah, but I completely agree with all this. I mean, I think that crossplay can only help the gaming industry, right? So it doesn't make sense anymore to segment people off into like, okay, this is the PlayStation servers and these are the Xbox servers and these are the PC servers, when, like, especially for smaller games, right? Like, some games might only have like 1,000 people per console, so it only makes sense to combine all of that for, the greater good.
One last point to this. I hope that with more games having this cross-platform thing, that we start seeing more of an attention to detail about like segmenting people based on like skill level if they choose to be. Because one of the nice things about being on a Nintendo system is you're usually playing with younger people, so it's usually a little bit easier to play games online as opposed to like an Xbox or a PlayStation where you tend to be playing with those like really like hardcore like teenage young adults who have nothing to do but play games all day, so they're really freaking good at it. Like, it'd be nice to know that in lieu of that no longer being a thing, like, you can maybe choose to join a lobby that's a little more casual, because that's kind of a big thing with online gaming. It's hard to find a balance,
I think it's going to be a while before we actually get to that point.
Yeah.
But once they figure out this whole crossplay thing, that's the next logical step is, okay, we have it all running. Now let's get the matchmaking working better.
Yeah, that would be nice.
So, and I mean, with games like Rocket League and Fortnite, where they have their season passes and ranking levels already, it's already built into the game. They just need to...
Well, and Rocket League even allows for a little bit of that, because you can choose to play a casual match or you can play a competitive. Something as simple as that is really all you need. Just nice to not get thrust into a room full of experts and be dying.
Well, and here's another cool thing, particularly about Rocket League with cross-platform play. Rocket League only got as big as it did, initially anyway, because of it being a free game on PlayStation Plus and everybody getting it to play it there for the first time. So there is a massive player base on PlayStation that we can now connect to on Switch. So I'm hoping that makes matchmaking shorter.
I don't know. Shinazi was playing Rocket League years ago through Steam.
Well, that's just it. Is it was on Steam, but it peaked. They hit like what is it called? Like peak concurrent players or something like that, right after the PlayStation Plus launch of Rocket League. So it was around, but it skyrocketed in popularity after that.
Yeah, right. Because they gave it away for free for a month or something like that during that.
Yeah, and that's actually when I got it for free. I didn't even play it though until I bought it on Switch.
Mm-hmm.
So that's everything I've got to say on that. It's freaking awesome. I'm very excited.
Nice, awesome.
Minecraft is next.
Yeah.
Well, we will take a little break here then, and then we'll move into the Infendo Top 5.
Good. As long as we're taking a break anyway, I'm going to go grab my Bluetooth keyboard so I don't have to spend so much of the podcast looking like this.
Nice. Take a little break while we wait for Minecraft to come out on PlayStation 4, and then we'll do Infendo Top 5.
Oh, it's there. It's just not getting all the updates yet.
Hopefully my computer will still be working when I get back.
So I was just unlocking Mewtwo. and he just teleported himself off the stage and died.
Nice.
You're like, great.
Oh, by the way, fun fact: Schnazzy One says it's true. The PS4 free is what got his attention on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you release a game for free, it's going to get some eyes on it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
Especially a
with
game
Fortnite.
like that.
Well, and Microsoft has already said too that they have it in place for Minecraft. They just couldn't get Sony on board. It's just a matter of them flipping a switch. So now that they've got 2 games in that beta program, I'm sure that Microsoft is going to them for Minecraft to be like, hey, we're here too.
Right.
Because they're still making money hand over fist on that game.
Boy. Well, this has been a good episode. I will see you guys next week.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's been fun. Good luck, Eugene, on your top 5. It'll be an awesome show.
Okay, guys, which one do I want? Do I want double Final Smash, where I always get 2 Final Smashes? Or do I want Poison Smash, where when I hit people with a smash attack, there's a chance they get poisoned?
Poison Smash.
See, the double Final Smash is really good, though.
But poison.
Yeah, I know, but...
See, I'm thinking
Ooh.
like Monster Hunter and Pokemon at this point.
Actually, I'm going to go with Air Attack way up right now, because I play a lot of the game in the air.
Phantom agrees with you, Double.
Yeah, well, I'll get double next Phantom, but I just bought Air Attack. I play as Pit, so I need those aerial hits. But yeah, no, double Final Smash with Pit is going to, like, wreck house, because I'll be able to do, like, an instant kill. And then
Yeah.
All right, y'all are going to have to deal with me being slightly dark because that lamp was blinding me.
That's
Justin, slightly dark.
that's fine.
Everything's
baby.
okay.
Justin can't handle the bright lights of being
But it
famous.
might not always be.
Crap.
Well, are we ready to roll into Infendo Top 5?
Hang on. I actually had a problem with my recording. So,
Well, at least
So
we're
we're-
figuring that out now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just start a new recording, which means, syncing up again.
Only for you.
What song should I go
And
with
Eugene.
this time?
Sorry, Eugene.
No worries. So far, the test on the phone is maybe not the best, but we'll see on
Yeah.
the second one.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I just went to look at it, and it was frozen. So I don't know whether it was frozen, or if it just, the screen was frozen.
Maybe you
But-
just have to let it go.
Well, can't
Thank
hold it back anymore.
Also, I love how my anti-Frozen comments have spurred an entire question block tonight.
Oh, geez. I thought I saw Elsa in there somewhere. I'm like, oh God, what are we in for?
No doubt. Just let me know when you're ready and we'll sync up again.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay. Let me make a note. Claps.
Can I do the count? Can I do the countdown?
Oh, please. Please do.
Yeah. Let me know when you're ready.
Oh, I'm ready.
And 3, 2, 1.
My anaconda don't. My anaconda don't. My anaconda don't.
Where you at,
want
Justin? About like a minute?
That was about 38 seconds, I think,
Okay.
give or take.
Lucas, you are full of the shitty songs tonight, aren't you?
I know.
Oh, I hate
I
you
guess
so
just
much
keep
tonight.
just keep an eye out on your phone, but we always have the Zoom backup, of course. But
Right.
to use
If I
that.
have to sound like crap for a couple of minutes, then,
I'll just splice it together. Okay. So let's do this. Let me find the music that I have for it, and let me level it out.
Zoom also isolates each individual voice,
I
right?
broke Justin.
What?
No, Justin's internet broke, Justin. You kind of
Oh.
broke up there for a sec, Justin. You want to try that again?
All I did
Yeah.
was I asked if Zoom automatically separated
Yes.
our tracks. Okay, so there we
does.
go. Awesome.
In mono, of course, but it's fine.
Eh.
All right, I'm going to level out my audio. Tell me what you think.
Do you like the sound of our voices? Just wait until you see our beautiful faces.
At twitch.tv/Infendo Radio, you can see us live Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard
Does that
Time.
sound all right?
The only
Yep.
time zone.
Cool.
Also, can I say I love having these? Like it's so funny to hear us talk.
It does make life a lot easier, and it's nice to not constantly be plugging people with
Everything.
our various things that we want to have them do.
Right. All right, here we go. I'm going to mute myself and play the audio.
Do you like the sound of our voices? Just wait until you see our beautiful faces. At twitch.tv/Infendo Radio, you can see us live Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The only time zone.
We're back. It's Infendo Top 5 time. We haven't done this in a while, actually. It's been, I don't even know, at least over a year. Can you even remember the last time we did it, Justin? Because it was before, pre-Lucas, pre-Steve, I want to say.
Oh, yeah, it was definitely
The dark days.
Steve. I want to say we started doing Nintendo's in lieu of Infendo Top 5 before the end of the year we came back. So
Yeah.
definitely before episode 500, but I'm pretty sure it was even like before 470.
Right.
Hey, Justin, episode 500 hasn't happened yet.
Or before, you know what I mean. Before,
I was going to let it go. I was
Nope,
going to Elsa
nope.
that.
Nope, I was going to call his ass out.
Steve couldn't hold it back anymore.
I hate you all.
That's why they say reindeers are better than people.
But yeah, we are doing an Infendo Top 5, and this week we actually have a
segment.
this week we actually have a
top
really cool one. We're going to be doing an Infendo Top 5 for our top 5 favorite villains, so that should be pretty interesting. I scrambled to get mine in order, and I think I like my order, so yeah, I'm excited for that. Does anybody want to take the reins, though, on this and tell us your first one and talk about it? Steven, go!
All right, so when I was picking top 5 villains, I wanted A, to go with stuff that wasn't conventional, and B, I wanted to go with some stuff that didn't originate on Nintendo, but has come to Nintendo. All of my villains do appear on a Nintendo console at some
You put
point.
a lot more work into it. I was like, these are my 5 favorite villains.
Oh no, bitch, I did research on this. So my number 5 favorite villain that's appeared on a Nintendo console is Albert Wesker.
Oh, I was thinking about using a Wesker.
So Albert Wesker came to us originally. So I think the first time Resident Evil appeared on the Nintendo console was on the GameCube.
Yep.
And that's when we got the Resident Evil 0 prequel and then the remakes of 1, 2, 3, 4. And did we get Code Veronica?
Yeah.
There in my the night on that.
Yeah,
I have it.
Code Veronica. On what system?
GameCube.
On GameCube.
GameCube. I don't remember. Code Veronica did come out on Wii. I don't know if it came out on GameCube.
It came out on GameCube. I own it.
Yeah, and then I think they were all re-released on GameCube after that too, or at least the big ones.
On Wii.
So yeah,
I
so
think I have all of them on Wii, and I've never played any of them.
And see, the only one that I've ever completed is Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil Remake. Excuse me, the remake of the original one. And when you see him at the end and you realize, he's the one behind everything, that was such a cool moment. And then seeing him even in the movies, I know that the movies deviate completely from everything that is Resident Evil canon, as it were, and most people hate the movies. I love them. I think they're so much fun, and he is such a badass in the movies.
I kind of consider the movies and the games to be their own
Separate
kind of
canon?
separate. Yeah, like they each have
So
their
you
own
believe in the
continuities.
Kind of like the Mario game timeline and the Mario movie timeline. Very different, but both equally justified.
No, there's nothing justifiable about the Mario movie.
Imagine for a second a world where man evolved from dinosaurs.
Oh God, he's got the accent again.
Now I'm gonna
Steve,
have to
save
go
us.
watch the movie again. So yeah,
I've got it in HD.
So he was my, as I ordered my list, he has to sit at the bottom, just because I've only played 2 games that he's actually in. But
Sure.
man, did I have fun with those 2 games.
I support you, man. Resident Evil 1 was my first Resident Evil. I played the crap out of it with my dad, and Wesker was pretty badass. So.
Yeah, that remake was so good. Oh my
Oh, yeah.
goodness.
I didn't finish it, but what I played of it was awesome. Like, I got stuck at one point and just kind of stopped playing, but there were so many times it scared the crap out of me in that game.
Oh,
Right.
those goddamn dogs get me every time.
Oh my god, I screamed out loud.
And
Just be careful
especially
you don't get turned into a Jill sandwich.
my oh god. My favorite
Thank
part
God
about
they
the dogs
re-recorded
though,
all the dialogue.
right? My favorite part about the dogs though is that if you played the original on the PlayStation, they changed the location that they jump out the window on you. So like
That's nice.
Yeah.
yeah. So like it gets you even then. It's like ugh.
Yeah, Resident Evil and Eternal Darkness, I think, are the only two games that have ever like startled me to the point that I screamed out loud.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, and
Well-
when it comes to Switch, I will be buying it again.
Who isn't? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Well, yes, I'm gonna take next and give you my number 5 on my list. My number 5 is kind of a joke answer, but also kind of not a joke answer. My number 5 villain is Tom Nook, because
when I told my friend tonight that we were doing this, that's what she recommended.
oh, no way.
Tom Nook and Dio from JoJo.
No, but really, seriously, Tom Nook, I'm saying, because like he's kind of a jerk. You owe him all this money, and then like you finally upgrade your house, and then you owe him even more money, and it's just like
I don't understand I don't understand the hate for Tom Nook. He gives you a house. He just asks you to pay for it over time.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing
He
with
never
Tom Nook.
asks for money without a service.
Here's the thing with Tom Nook. I didn't get it either because the first game I played was New Leaf, and in New Leaf he's pretty tame. But when you go back, like I played the original games, and he's a lot more of a monster in those games.
Oh, really?
Like,
I've never
like-
played any but
Like you start off in the original Animal Crossing, and he's like, "Oh yeah, here's a house. You could pay me back for it. By the way, you work for me now."
Yeah.
And he gets to like running out and doing deliveries and stuff. Like, no, I understand now because I used to be with you, but
Oh, I'm learning something new about my friendly neighborhood loan shark. Apparently,
Yeah, he'll get you, man. I'm telling you, you owe that man lots of bills. So, yeah, Tom Nook. That's my number 5. Who's next?
I
I have
guess.
to eliminate one from my list, and I can't decide because I'm still stuck at 6.
Would you like to decide while I do mine, or would you
Sure,
like to
go ahead.
So mine, just so you know, my list is not as well organized as Steve's or as funny as Eugene's. I literally just sat down and I said, who are my favorite, 5 villains from Nintendo games? And this is what I got. Number 5 is Marx from Kirby Superstar Saga.
Yeah, I saw that.
Kirby Superstar Saga was one of my favorite Kirby games, one of my favorite games in general as a kid. And I really liked Marx in that game. I liked the fake out. It was a mini fake out, obviously, because it was kind of a mini game. But like he comes up and he's this cute little blob on a ball, and he's like, "You gotta save the world with the sun and the moon." And it's like all of a sudden he's this demon monster that's like spitting out souls, and he's got bat wings, and I love him. I love him so much. I love his design. I love that he rides around on a little ball.
Dude, holy shit.
Yeah, no, the theme song's amazing.
Oh my-
I love his
my
music.
God. Go on YouTube and look up 8-Bit Music Theory. He just released a video about video game music with odd time signatures, and Mark's
I saw the
theme is
preview.
like the highlight of that.
Yeah, no, yeah, he's
It like
great.
changes time signature every 2 measures.
I'm very happy that he's playable in Kirby Star Allies. I played the crap out of that game with him. I'm exceedingly happy that he's one of the few villains that we got in Smash Bros.
Okay, I'm glad that you gotten that. So because I knew you were going to be excited about that when I.
Oh yeah, no,
when
dude,
I saw him.
I love it so much. Like he's fantastic.
And you know, and on a side tangent, Smash tangent, what I love that they do about it is that they keep the villains like true to form too. So like it's pretty much the same exact attacks, and they're from the original.
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah, no,
Same.
Yeah,
weaknesses.
the boss battles are like the highlights, right? Like every time I play a classic mode with a certain character and have to fight Master Hand, I'm disappointed.
yeah, no, I know, I feel you. No, he's fun. I love Marx. I'm really happy that he gets as much attention as he does. I'm happy that the rest of the fan base feels as strongly about him as I do because I love him.
Yeah, he's a legit character. I love him. All right, Justin,
All right.
you got it down
Well,
to 5, or what we got? We got a list of 7
no,
now.
I'll have to decide towards the end which one I'm going to cut out because because I have to play. I was going to play off of Steve's and go with a non-Nintendo villain first, but I got to play off of Lucas's because I've never played the game that Mark's is in, but one of the ones on my list is Nightmare from Kirby's Adventure. And again, we're getting into spoiler territory, and I think we're going to be in spoiler territory for most of this.
Adventure.
It's a 25 or 30-year-old game. It's okay.
I know, but if you haven't played it yet, play it now.
If you haven't played it yet, you don't have an interest in it.
Turn off the podcast, go
Right.
beat it now, and then come back when you're done.
Back to us when you're done. No listening until you finish.
Because Nightmare, I think, was the first bait and switch villain I can ever remember in a video game. Because I remember, I had played Kirby's Dream. I think I had played Kirby's Dream. I got to the end where you fight King Dedede. And I'm like, oh, well, it took me a while to beat him. He wasn't easy. And I'm like, oh, I finally beat it. Wait, what? Wait, what's happening? Oh my God. And then you get the second form and just, oh my God, like that's still one of my favorite boss battles of all time, even though I can completely demolish him now because I've got his patterns memorized and everything. It's just the music, the atmosphere, the fact that you have this very dark, sinister, almost Castlevania looking character thrown into a Kirby game where everything's cute and fluffy and round. It was just such a mind-blowing moment to get to that battle and then actually beating him. Just suddenly this relatively easy game just gets amped up to 11 in difficulty. So I haven't I haven't fought Marks yet, other than in one of the classic modes in Smash, but definitely Nightmare is one of my highlight bosses and one of my top 5.
Nice. Awesome. Well, I guess we were circling back around to you, Steve, so give us your number 4.
Well, you guys are about to hate me. This is another I don't know, Bit Trip started on the Nintendo systems.
I'm waiting to find out who the villain in Bit Trip is.
Yeah, I thought they started on Vita or something.
I hope it's Captain Poopy
No,
Pants.
Bit Trip.
Equally charming.
Bit Trip started as a WiiWare title, as a matter of fact. It came out in 6 parts, and then they re-released it in disc form on the Wii.
Because WiiWare couldn't handle a full release of the game.
Yeah, and then it was ported to 3DS, and then it was ported anyway. So it's been out on tons of Nintendo systems. The villain's name from that is Minigron Timbletot. I only knew him as Timbletot. I had no idea until 10 minutes ago he had a first name. So that was new to me. And for those of you that are actually watching the live stream, I'm going to attempt to hold up my iPad and show you what he looks like. But he is the big bad. He is Commander Video's nemesis. He is the Wesker to your Jill.
The sandwich to your Jill.
I remember getting to his boss fight. In Runner 1, on the 3DS was the first time I beat Runner 1. But I remember getting to him. It took me 3 weeks before I was actually good enough at it to beat him. That boss fight is rough. Really, that game, though, it's really rewarding when you go through a 2-week stretch sitting on one level and then you finally beat it. That feels good. I don't remember his boss fight in Runner 2 being nearly as good, and I haven't got to him yet in Runner 3, so I'm getting there. But he is just a cool villain. He pulls Commander Video into all these weird situations in each of the different games. Really enjoyable. He changes phases into all these different machine type things in each of the different games he's in. Just really, really good. Runner is one of my favorite series, and I'm glad to see that they have such a cool antagonist. So
I wonder if we ever get a Smash trophy or something for some indie games like that.
Oh, I'm sure there's probably a sticker in there somewhere or whatever.
Commander Video was a trophy in Smash 4, and it's quite possible that there's a sticker or two from the Bit Trip series in Smash 5. I don't know.
Nice.
So, But yeah, so Minigron Timbletot. Timbletot, I said it wrong. Tot, not trot. My bad.
And I'm sure people are just absolutely furious and incensed.
I know, right? All those runner fans that we
Does
have.
anybody else have any vivid memories of runner games and their bosses to share? Go along with Steve's story. Anyone?
Actually, Lucas has beat Runner 2, if I remember right.
I did beat Runner 2. I rather enjoyed it.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that is adorable.
I just heard it.
For our audio-only listeners, Lucas just showed us a very nice Mark spirit that he just unlocked.
During the show.
Well, I suppose I will take next, since I'm the next in order. So my next boss or villain, or I guess what have you, that I is on my favorites list is actually Andross. So I've always really liked.
I go down, I'm taking you with me.
Yeah, and see, you hit it right on the head, Justin. Honestly, because that was one of the first games I ever played that had spoken voice. So like.
On a cartridge, no less.
Yeah, right. So like it was pretty impactful to hear that, and then like I thought the voice actors were pretty good in Star Fox 64. So like,
I mean, they were very B movie, but they
but that's what you wanted.
They needed to be.
Yeah, exactly. And then so like I've always liked getting to that Andross boss battle, especially after you figure out that there's a trick, so then you can get to the second form or whatever, and So
wait, there's a second form? No, I'm kidding.
I found out, and playing the original Star Fox on my Super NES Classic and abusing the crap out of save states, that there's a second form to the original Super NES Andross battle as well. So
I must admit, I've never beaten that game because it's so hard.
I've just never had as much of an interest in it because it's just like a lower version of Star Fox.
I've beat the first level.
It's got great music, I think.
Like it's got great music, and I think, I mean, aside from the frame rate, I think the gameplay itself still holds up. But
yeah,
and I do like the like extreme low poly graphics, and I love low poly Andross. I'm so glad is that still an assist trophy?
Oh yeah,
I know. Okay, because that's one of my favorite assist trophies. Seeing the Star Fox SNES graphics in HD is just
yeah, it's cool. Definitely cool.
Only he's got the brains to rule the Lilat system.
So yeah, Andross, that's me.
When you said that you were next, I got confused because when you disappeared and reappeared, you switched places with Lucas on my screen, so it wasn't in the same order anymore.
Oh, here,
I'll just keep going.
Let's mess things up again.
God damn it.
All right, Steve, hit us with your number 4.
Steve?
Wait.
Yeah,
what?
isn't it your turn next?
I went.
Next, Lucas.
Oh, I
Timbletot, remember?
Second. I keep thinking Eugene is first. Okay.
No, I've already done 2.
All right, Lucas, hit us with your number 4. So I don't think any of you are going to get this one. My number 4 is not the final boss, but the main villain of Super Paper Mario, Count Bleck.
Yes.
Super Paper Mario.
Now there's a spoiler for me. I didn't know he wasn't the final boss.
Come on, man. Super Paper Mario is the game with the story that has been the most influential in my game that I'm working on's story, because it like really touched me like in a deep way when I was a kid, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been like really influential to me as not only like a villain, but also like a model for villains to model after. He's a really tragic villain. He's got a really tragic backstory. I like him a lot. I think he's really interesting. I'm trying to remember if you ever actually fight him or not. I want to say you do.
There's one fight that I remember.
Yeah, but
I watched my wife play that game on the Wii.
The Dementio and Mr. L boss fight like just kind of takes center stage, and you forget all about it. One of the things I really liked about him was he's one of like the only Mario villains that I've ever seen that actually has like a following of minions that like are devoted to him. Like he's got the Irish guy who like he apparently like saved his life and he feels like indebted to him. He's got the secretary who's like got the hots for him, so she follows him around. little girl Mimi who turns into like a giant spider who like idolizes him as a hero. Like his cronies love him. His backstory is really nice. Just like everything about him is really cool. I like him a lot. I'm really happy he was a villain in a game that otherwise was kind of like the beginning of the end for one of my favorite series. The plot really went a long way to make that game kind of, still one of the good ones in my opinion. So
yeah, I have a confession. The only Paper Mario game I have ever beaten was the original on N64. I got really far in Thousand Year Door, never finished it, and I got maybe a third of the way through Super Paper Mario. And I've loved all of them. I just haven't had the patience to go back to them. And Super Paper Mario, I get the complaint that, it's not a turn-based RPG like the other ones, but I liked what they did with it. I liked
good for what it was. Yeah.
And I liked the perspective flipping.
Yeah, it was very interesting. And it had a very, in my opinion, a very well done plot. Way off the beaten path. Could have been an indie game that just somebody came up with and just as good. It didn't have to be a Mario game, but I would argue that it is like the last good Paper Mario. Some people would probably argue it's the first bad Paper Mario, but there was a lot there for me. I really liked it. So Count Black, number 4.
All right. I think I've decided who I'm going to eliminate from my list, and Lucas won't be happy with it. But it'll probably be it'll probably be on his list, so we'll get to talk about it anyway. But when Steve started talking about non-Nintendo villains who also appeared on Nintendo systems eventually, I immediately thought of Liquid Snake from Metal Gear Solid, the original, and the GameCube remake, The Twin Snakes. Again, this goes back to memory because, playing the original Metal Gear Solid on the original PlayStation and going oh my God, this is like playing a movie. And little did I know that it was basically like watching a really super long, poorly edited movie and playing game in between, but it's still one of my favorites. It's campy as hell. But and Liquid Snake is campy as hell, but he was
much like Resident Evil.
Right, but he was just such a such a well done villain in that style. From everything from the faux British accent to the I'm going to destroy the world sort of thing. But, and the way, again, spoiler territory, the way he manipulates you into basically doing his bidding for you. And just the realization at the end of the game that at the end of the credits to find out, that he wasn't what you thought he was the whole time. And just, yeah, Liquid Snake, one of my favorite villains of all time. And since he did appear on a Nintendo system, he is still eligible for this list. So
this list with the arbitrary rules that we just made up.
My list isn't even in any particular order. I forgot to mention that at the beginning of this because my order of favorites changes from moment to moment. You ask me to list my all-time favorite anything, and it's going to change tomorrow. Yep. But the same things will be on the list. They just might not be in the same order. So screw numbers. These are my favorites for now.
Fair enough.
All right, so are we back to me?
Back to you, number 3.
We're finally back to you.
Holy crap. Number 3 should come as no surprise to anybody who knows me.
Wait. Is it the Ender Dragon? Oh.
I actually considered putting that on my list, but there's not a lot to the Ender Dragon as far as villains go.
Is it...
as far as polygons go.
Is it Death Knight? What is his name? Spectre Knight.
It is. Spectre Knight is my number 3.
Round 2.
I want to read you his description from shovelknight.wikia.com, which is evidently a thing.
Wait.
Of course it is.
Wait.
Of course there's a wiki for Shovel Knight.
And now, a reading from shovelknight.wikia.com.
Oh, God. Formerly a thief and adventurer named Donovan, Spectre Knight is one of the 8 knights of the Order of No Quarter who serves the Enchantress and keeps watch over his lair, the Leech Yard. Is that how you say that? Leech? I don't know. Lich? Okay, well,
I watched it.
English is not my forte. He also serves as the protagonist of the Spectre of Torment campaign, the official prequel to Shovel of Hope, which is the main Shovel Knight campaign. That story, the way they did.
Wait. We forgot at the end of the reading. Thanks be to Yacht.
Oh yes, thanks be to Yacht. I will say that too because we get King of Cards this year. I'm so excited. But yeah,
I want the amiibo, damn it.
The way they did his campaign to where you spend half of it playing as Spectre Knight, and then you spend the other half of it playing as Donovan when he was in his human form, and you get to see exactly how he became Spectre Knight and why he's doing what he's doing. That campaign was just so good. Like, up until then, I didn't really have like a favorite villain in the Shovel Knight series. Before that, I would have to say Plague Knight because the Explodatorium theme is amazing. But
that is my favorite theme in that game.
Oh yeah.
Just playing the Spectre Knight campaign though, and the remixes they did for that campaign of the original music really just solidified him as probably my favorite character in the Shovel Knight game. Although I have to give an honorable mention to the Enchantress because she is one twisted piece of shit.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that you picked a more or less random henchman as opposed to the main villain of that game. But and I'm surprised you didn't go with Black Knight because I feel like I've played a little bit of Plague Knight and I haven't played any of Spectre Knight, so that would be why I don't know as much about them. But in the main Shovel Knight,
vanilla.
That's what I was going to say. He's a very two-dimensional character, no pun intended.
Well, in the main Shovel Knight game, though, he's the only one that really has a story arc.
Right.
So,
well, and then once they start to flesh out these other characters, I mean, Donovan was trying to save his friend, and the only way he could do that was by recruiting all these other knights and powering up that amulet. And he didn't well, I'm not going to spoil that because that's a newer game. But
I will.
The ending of that game is just holy crap. Am I wrong, Lucas?
Oh no, it was really good. But see, it's funny to me because you hyped me all up for this when I got really into Shovel Knight too. And as we've talked about, I much more enjoyed Plague Knight. Everything about Plague Knight, it stuck to me like Spectre Knight stuck to you.
Right.
So like for me, if I was picking a Shovel Knight villain, it would be Plague Knight easily.
Well, yeah, and with Plague Knight, you've got the love story with Plague Knight and Mona.
His narrative was just so good.
Oh, yeah.
Like that to me, that was like the perfect plot. But that's what's interesting about the games. It's like you can play them, and maybe you like Shovel Knight the most, maybe it's Plague Knight, maybe it's Spectre. But
maybe you skip the story altogether, like so many people do.
Yeah, and just play it as an arcade game.
God, I need to play
You've never played a Shovel Knight game. Is that what you're going to tell us?
No, I love Shovel Knight. I just don't care about the story. I just played it to beat it.
I really like one of the reasons I haven't played Plague Knight is I'm so torn as to which system to play them on because I do love those pixels on my big screen TV, but I love the 3D parallax on the 3DS.
I have to play that game on the 3DS,
and
especially
you guys
now that oh, go ahead.
It's a lot better with an 8-bit controller. Bust out a Super Nintendo or an NES controller and play some Shovel Knight.
Yeah, the 3D, as beautifully as it was done, does not compare to playing it on an 8-bit dough.
Yeah, but like the 3D.
You know what I was thinking? It's slight tangent here, but you know what I was thinking when I was playing New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe Super Hyper Turbo
Ultra Edition.
You wish it was 3D.
What? Well, that too. No, I was trying to find a good, controller with a good D-pad to play on, and then I remembered I have one of those Hori Game Boy Player controllers that's shaped. It's a GameCube controller that's shaped like a Super NES controller, and I have that 8-bit wireless adapter. That's what I'm going to play that game with. That and the other game that I was playing this week that I will talk about later.
Nice. So yeah, number 3, Spectre Knight. Donovan, whatever we're going to call him today.
Nice. All right, well then I guess that means I'm up. So my number 3, and I really don't know if this was on a Nintendo console. I know that one of the games was on the Nintendo 64. Don't know if she was in it, but my number 3 is Sarah Kerrigan. I'll give you guys a free Nintendo's point if you know what game that's from.
The name sounds moderately familiar, but
I see this? Isn't it a sticker from Smash Brothers?
Nah, I don't think so. Sarah Kerrigan,
Dead or Alive,
from StarCraft, is
Phantom got it.
Yeah, there you go. Phantom knows. Phantom's my boy. Yeah, so also known as the Queen of Blades, but she's amazing. So she actually starts off as, and this is why I like her so much. She starts off as an ally, actually. You and Jim Raynor, I guess, is one of the other main characters of the game. But anyways, you guys are tasked to go into, like, kill the bad guys and all the things. And one of the times you go to kill the bad guys, it goes bad. And Sarah gets left behind, and she's actually kind of betrayed by the commanding officer. But anyways, that's beside the point. She gets left behind, and she gets overtaken by these creatures.
God, we're spoilery tonight.
This is literally from the first game. It's from 1998, y'all. So, like, come on.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, she gets overtaken by the Zerg and presumed dead, but she actually ends up being infested by the Zerg and transformed into like a human Zerg hybrid, I guess. And she actually takes over what's called the Overmind, and she becomes like the main bad guy of the game. And she's
just pause real quick and ask, you are the one that likes Star Trek, right?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense because this is basically just the plot of like a Star Trek episode.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, come on, Blizzard, that's what Blizzard does. That's literally their whole thing. But anyways, yeah, they Sarah Kerrigan's so good. It's great because you have to end up, fighting against her and then fighting against her again in StarCraft 2. But yeah, it's Sarah Kerrigan. She's great. Queen of Blades.
Sorry, Winnie.
Also Queen of the Zerg, according to the chat.
Yeah, yep.
I don't know what that means, but it sounded good.
Chat knows.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh, did you guys hear that? Dun, 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 dun,
dun, I wonder what his number 3 is.
Dun, 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 dun. It's Ridley! Yes!
Yep.
The only shock here should be that Ridley made number 3 on my list of best villains.
No,
Guys!
I think I know who your number 2 is, at least.
No, you don't. I really don't think you do. No. I really like Ridley. You all know I really like Ridley. I don't have to talk about how I really like Ridley. He's a freaking dragon that's also a pirate. He can talk in the manga. He kills Samus's parents and eats them. He's freaking amazing. He dies like 20 times in the game. He dies in Super Metroid. He comes back to life in Other M. He dies again. They clone him. They turn him into something else. He becomes Mecha Ridley. Then the X-Parasites take over the clone's body, and he becomes like an X-Parasite Ridley. He's like the huge cosmic joke of Metroid, and yet simultaneously, he's like Samus's biggest foe. I love him so much. And now he's in Smash, and I can play as him anytime I want, and it makes me really happy. And that's all I've got to say about it.
My favorite thing about Ridley is that story that you told me from the manga, where he's like, I ate the flesh of your mom to stay alive. Look at my arm. This may be her.
Pay homage to your mother, girl. Like, yeah, no, he's amazing. I love him so much. He's awesome. I don't know what else to say. We've had this conversation like 40 times. I really like Ridley. That's all right. I got.
I don't have anything else. I told my story. I'm good.
Well, since Lucas went with Ridley, I'm gonna have to go with my next one.
SAS. Be it SAS.
Mother Brain.
Oh, those are 2 good ones as well, and they were in the running. But I went with Kraid. And
okay.
And
Ridley's right-hand man.
Part of this is because I was trying to get characters that were a little less common, and part of it is because, again, the memories of the original Metroid. Kraid was the first mini boss. Kraid was the only mini boss I was ever able to get to without cheating, and I just always thought Kraid was cooler with the spikes shooting out of him everywhere. I think wasn't a huge fan of his redesign for Super Metroid.
Oh, see, I was just gonna say I thought he was stupid in the original, but I loved him in Super.
Well, I don't know, like,
Is he the big green guy?
Yeah, who shoots?
yeah, he's the big one with the spikes, and you can jump on.
But he's only big in Super Metroid. In the original, he's like, they're all tiny.
Well, yeah, I guess, he's like Ridley size Super and regular Metroid.
Yeah, like I guess I just feel like, for considering Mother Brain and Ridley have both come back in some form or another repeatedly throughout the series, I feel like Kraid has kind of gotten the shaft, because he's only really come back in Super Metroid, which was sort of kind of a rehash of the original Metroid, and Zero Mission which was a straight up
hash.
So, like, where's the love for Kraid? So Kraid is number 3 on my list.
Nice.
Awesome.
All right.
Also, speaking of strange time signatures, Ridley's theme is in 5/4.
Good Lord, how do you know this stuff?
I've studied music like my whole life. So
also, he watched a YouTube video. He said it like an hour ago.
Well, yeah, that's great too. But still, like, I couldn't remember everybody's times. 5, 4, 4, 4, 3, 1. I don't know.
Oh my God! When they talked about the time signature for the Ganondorf battle in Ocarina of Time, I couldn't believe. Like, no wonder I was never able to count it.
Well, I'm going to take that segue, because speaking of The Legend of Zelda, my number 2 villain goes to Demise from Skyward Sword.
I'm glad you picked that, because I wanted to pick him, but I didn't.
Yeah, and I have told this story many times on the podcast, but holy crap, the ending to Skyward Sword is flawless. The fact Demise is the embodiment of all evil. He can let's do another reading.
And now a reading
from the book.
Let's see.
Is that a thing?
Zelda, this one comes to us from zelda.gamepedia.com.
And now a reading from zelda.gamepedia.com.
Book 4, verses 9 through 20.
Oh, God. I know, right? Demise. This eternal being has conquered time itself. It is the source of all monsters. Need we say more?
Also, he's like Ganondorf's daddy, and I love that.
And
like,
the people
right at the end,
he's the spirit of evil, and the reason Ganondorf exists, and the reason he looks the way he does.
Right at the end, when he's dying,
muted me.
He's like, "Oh, by the way, I'm cursing you, and you're gonna come back, and he's gonna kill you over and over and over again." And I'm like, "Amazing! I love that."
And the princess is gonna the goddess is gonna come back, and she's gonna keep getting kidnapped and destroyed and punished and all this stuff too.
I have to say something about I don't like the man anymore. I used to like him back before he revealed that he was a giant ass. But back when I used to watch JonTron, he had this thing called like the Gruntilda effect when it came to villains. And I really respect and appreciate that mindset, that if you build a villain up slowly over time and you give people a chance to like little drips and drabs of a villain, by the time you get to that final fight, it feels really good. So like mention a villain often, keep a villain going. What they did good with Demise was you fight him 3 times before the final fight. You just don't know you're fighting him because he's
I never made the connection until recently that Demise was the prison.
Yeah.
Which I guess lends some legitimacy to the imprisoned battles, but
some
there's
legitimacy.
egregious.
It's still really long. But
see, that was always my issue with Twilight Princess is you spend the whole game focusing on Zant, and then suddenly, there's Ganondorf.
Like last hour, Ganondorf is revealed to be the. Yeah, I know.
And it's one of the most epic battles in Zelda history. But I'm like, okay, well, I had no idea he was here. Why am I? Why is this the big epic moment?
Yeah.
Well, and that was the same issue I had with Sia from Hyrule Warriors.
I think Sia had a much.
She's nothing more than Ganon's puppet. I mean, she's kind of doing this, same type of thing. But
I forgot about all that because Sia made an impression on me. Like, I remembered Sia, and I was going to say, well, Sia was present the whole time, and she was kind of cool and original and very Koei Tecmo.
Yeah.
Who were we talking
Very.
about again when we started?
So, but
Demise.
Demise, dude, that final boss battle. So you go
Yeah.
through the whole
Yeah.
game, raising
that
raising
totally
the sword up to the
legitimized-
sky and charging it up. That final time you raise it up before you kill him and lightning strikes.
When all of a sudden you realize, oh god, I can conduct lightning with my No.
that
And
battle
that's the final
totally
blow.
legitimized the motion controls in that
Yeah.
game. Like I was out of my chair actually. When I was playing that, I think I broke a sweat.
There are moments in the Zelda series that made an impression on me. Like the first time I beat Link's Awakening, the ending of A Link Between Worlds, the ending of Twilight Princess. But nothing in the Zelda universe has made an impression on me like that final boss battle with Demise.
Very nice.
But I'm glad you did that because I would have loved to have talked about that. But
Yeah, I wanted to go with Sia. I thought about going with Vadi. Zelda has a lot of good villains, but in the end, it had to be Demise.
I mean, my only issue with Demise is it was such a shoehorned way to say, yeah, we realize we've retold the same story 100 times in this series. Look, we're just going to say, oh, it was destined from the beginning. But, I mean, it's a small gripe for,
Cliche or not, it works.
I just don't have any problem with Predestiny with like a Zelda game because that's like the whole game is myths and gods and destiny. Like if it was anything else, I could see it. But like you're destined to be the hero from like birth every time you play the game. It works for me. Destiny is such a big part of the Zelda universe that it just kind of makes sense.
Right.
I don't know. I still kind of think of them all as their own separate experiences from each other. But anyway, Eugene, what's your number 2?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Justin. My number 2 is also a villain from the Zelda universe, but I went a different route.
I know what my number 2 is going to be.
I went a different route, though. I didn't go Vadi. I didn't go Demise. I actually went with the Skull Kid. And I like the Skull Kid because he's almost an unwilling villain, right? Because
a tragic villain, yeah.
Yeah, So it just really...
really, if you think about it, Majora is the villain of that so much more than the Skull Kid, because Majora is like pulling the string.
A puppet that's outlived its usefulness is just trash. And he throws
right.
Yeah, so I just loved that... mostly the way that the interaction with the fairies, I forget their names, the fairies in the Skull Kid.
Paddle and Tail.
Yeah, there you go. It wasn't, I didn't have like a emotional crying experience, but like it really touched me, because like the fairies cared for their friend, like in the Skull Kid.
Yeah.
Especially if you do all the side quests, that is probably one of the most powerful like Zelda games ever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's. I think that it's story wise probably top notch out of all the games for my money. I mean, probably close second to Skyward Sword, but I think I would take Majora's Mask over that.
You are hitting all the right notes with me tonight, boy.
So we need to leave you two alone.
I might at this rate. And fun fact for all you guys, there are very few me outfits that really work as like a fighter in Smash, but the Skull Kid outfit makes a very convincing Skull Kid.
Yeah,
if you want to make him into a fighter.
Nearly flawless.
And you can add the voice acting too. You can add a little voice and make him have that like high-pitched shrill voice. So, put Skull Kid in the game.
Oh, and
Just use any of the Japanese voices in the game.
So, and fun story about Skull Kid, that first time you see him in Majora's Mask and he laughs, that is actually my ringtone when I get emails to our Infendo email. And that creeps people right the hell out when it goes off at work.
I bet you it does.
So.
Awesome. Yep, Skull Kid. All right, take it away, Lucas.
You better make it a Zelda character because we've got to...
It isn't, but my number 1 is a Zelda character. So, my number 2 is kind of close in that the series are kind of similar. My number 2 choice is Hades from Kid Icarus Uprising.
Nice.
In much the same vein as Justin's choice for Nightmare. And full disclosure, Kid Icarus Uprising spoilers for all of you, needy fans out there who've been wanting to play this game from 2013 and just never got around to it. You
To
play
be fair, I haven't played much of any Kid Icarus game, even though I own all 3 of them. So
so you get through Kid Icarus Uprising, or you think you get through it, and it's a pretty short game. It's only like a couple of hours long, but you figure, okay, well, who knows? It is kind of a weird series. It hasn't really had a game in a long time. You fought all the old bosses from the NES game, and you have your final fight against Medusa, who was the final boss in the NES game as well. And the credits start rolling, and everything's good, and they're all celebrating. And then all of a sudden, a giant claw rips the credits away, and Hades shows up, and he tells you, "Oh no, this has only just begun. I've been the mastermind behind this whole thing and your last game, and I'm here to ruin your lives and destroy the world of light."
okay, now I'm going to debate something here because we just went through this whole conversation about how villains who come out of nowhere at the end have absolutely no impact, and then you're
Listen, because it really isn't the end of the game. It's the third point of the game, and they made you think it was the ending. You see, after that third, everything steps up to high gear. You meet
very Bioshock-like.
Yeah, you meet Veridi, who's a new character. You have another interaction with Magnus, who you met very early in. You start having a war with Veridi because she's trying to destroy humans because she feels like nature.
You're reminding me actually how good that story was. It was
good
wacky,
like
but
it's
really
a very
yeah.
cheesy, campy game, but it knows that it's cheesy and it tries to be cheesy, and it does a really good job of being both a serious game and a really campy game at the same time.
I think those are stories that work the best as well, where you have really good deep lore, but then you also have characters who have complete disregard for it, which is why the Marvel movies work so well, because it's the same sort of thing. It's the pathos of the whole thing.
So you go through everything with
pathos.
this game.
I can't remember what that term. Hang on.
You go through all of these different things in this game. You're experiencing all this different stuff. You team up with Hades at one point. He eats you at one point. But he's this comic villain who like makes fun of things and has no regard for life or anything like that. But he seems like this really kind of like cheery, almost like likable villain. But the farther you go in, the more like demonic he gets and twisted he gets, and that final fight is just so it's really good. Hades is a fantastic boss. He is my go-to spirit in Smash Bros. He's just really useful. I love him. I really wish he would make it into Smash Bros. I think he would make a great substitute for, like, Ganondorf was a Captain Falcon clone up until this game, where he kind of got his own movesets. I think Hades would be a great replacement for that old Ganondorf. He just everything about him feels like a good fit. So I would love to see him make the cut at some point. I know Kid Icarus doesn't really deserve any more love. It's already got like 3 characters for a game that's really had like 1 game with characters.
2.5.
But
you can definitely say that Kid Icarus has as many characters as he's had games in Smash Brothers. I think that's a fair percentage.
It's just he's really good. I love him a lot. I think he makes for an excellent boss. The voice actor, the English voice actor at least, incredibly talented. He plays the role like really well. He has almost like that James level of like, oh, pity pat, like that whole thing. Like, he's good. I love him, man. So Hades, number 2 spot.
Awesome.
And I'm still picturing the character from Disney's Hercules, so although probably not as despicable as James Woods. So all right, since Lucas did not follow the pattern and go with a Zelda character, I also will save my Zelda villain for last.
That's good, because I was hoping we wouldn't have the same one, and my number 1 would be ruined.
I don't think we do, because I think I know who you chose, and it was a villain who was on my list and got deleted in favor of where the hell was it going with this? Oh, okay.
Doesn't really matter. What's your number 2?
My number 2, again, going with the strange and unusual Wart or Mamu.
Oh yeah.
From
I like that one.
Super Mario Brothers 2 or Doki Doki Panic, depending on how you wanna look at it. Very underutilized character. I mean, I know he wasn't really built up much in Super Mario Brothers 2. In Doki Doki Panic, you get a glimpse of him in the intro cutscene, but just a great boss battle. challenging, but also like not cheap, and a great character design. That was really when Nintendo was starting to learn the graphical capabilities of the NES and could take these chunky, blocky pixels and turn them into something genuinely like cartoony and almost hand drawn looking. And Wart was, a pretty big sprite for the time.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just like I realize he's one of those characters who just kind of comes up out of nowhere and you fight him and he's gone, and he's never been. I think one of the big things for me is I keep hoping, they've brought back Bombs, they've brought back Birdo, they've brought back the Ninja.
Yeah.
They have not brought back so many different Shy Guys. Shy Guys are like the primary enemy in the Yoshi games. They have not brought back Wart. So I know it's not because they can't use the Super Mario Brothers 2 characters. And Wart appeared in Link's Awakening in his original form with his original name, Mamu. So they can use him in that. Why hasn't he been back in Mario?
Which guy is he in Link's Awakening?
Mamu, the singing frog.
No shit, I never picked up on that.
Yeah, like his name in Japan.
Holy crap.
And they just didn't change his name for whatever reason when they localized it. So
just blew Steve's mind.
Wow. We're all learning something tonight. But yeah, Wart has never come back. Another kind of tangential enemy that almost made this list was Tatanga, the main villain from Super Mario Land. Also because he has, Tatanga came back as a sub boss in Mario Land 2, but he wasn't really as memorable. I mean, he was basically just a, what do you call it? Like a side-scrolling shoot 'em up villain. Okay. But Wart needs to come back in something. Give us a Subcon Kingdom or something, and let us fight a 3D rendered Wart.
Yeah, I like that answer a lot. All right, well, Steve, I think we're on to your number one, huh?
So for those of you that are watching the live stream, you notice I started bobbing my head about halfway through this. That's because I turned on the theme song for my number one. To no surprise to anyone, it's King K. Rool.
Which song?
The remix from Smash Brothers that was his theme in his trailer, as a matter of fact.
That's such a good song.
Crocodile Cacophony, the Smash remix, gets a very honorable mention because that one is really good too. King K. Rool is one of the first platformer bosses that I can remember getting to the final boss and actually beating on my own without any help from anyone. And his theme song is the reason that my phone is loaded up with video game music today.
Soundtrack that was the first video game soundtrack I ever bought and remains one of my all-time favorites.
Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah.
So back in the days of LimeWire, for those of you older listeners, that is how I originally obtained this soundtrack, was from LimeWire. Then I got the ROM, and then I ripped it myself. I remember Kazaa, too. That was another one I used.
I bought DK Jams on CD from Nintendo Power. That is how much I love that soundtrack and how old I am, because Napster didn't even exist yet then.
I bought DK Jams on CD from eBay because I didn't have a Nintendo Power subscription, and I had a college email address, so I didn't have to have a credit card on file.
Hey, nice. King K. Rool.
So yeah, King K. Rool, all-time favorite villain right there, and from my favorite game franchise too.
I was so happy that when he was announced for Smash Brothers as well, because he was one of the ones that I've been wanting ever since they started expanding that game.
It felt like an empty spot, right? It felt like he always deserved a spot.
Well, especially when
I didn't know I wanted him until he was there, and I'm like, holy crap.
Well, no, they had Diddy Kong, and they had so many Donkey Kong Country themed things in Smash Brothers, so I knew it couldn't have been like a legal issue. So I'm like, why isn't he here?
Actually, it may have been a legal issue because they just got the rights for those ROMs again when they were re-released on 3DS. So it may have actually been a legal issue.
Yes.
That's true. I guess that is the
Because
reason
they had to pull the ROMs from the Wii eShop, and then they were reissued on 3DS and Wii U.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then as I was just saying, like the Kremlings were not the villains in either of the Nintendo made games. So,
Yep. And that's
anywho,
why.
the Retro Studios made games, I should say.
So yeah, number 1, King K. Rool. No surprise there.
No surprise and good choice.
Yeah,
Thank you.
definitely. All right, well, I'm going to go up next, and I don't care about no rules because this person I don't think is on Nintendo, but regardless, my favorite villain anyways. So, drum roll, please. This one is GLaDOS.
I was hoping you were going to say that.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. GLaDOS appears in Bridge Constructor
Oh,
Portal.
yep.
There you go.
All right,
There's
I got
your
my in.
loophole.
I've got my in.
Oh, and also
All right, so before you get
Lego
started-
Dimensions for Wii U.
Before you get started here, Eugene, did you play Portal 2?
Yes! Oh,
Okay,
my God.
good, because you don't know GLaDOS if you ain't played Portal 2.
Yeah, no, that's
all I'm
I think
saying.
that's my memory of GLaDOS, actually. GLaDOS and the character who plays the Stephen Merchant character. I forget his name. Wheatley.
Wheatley.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. Oh man, I love GLaDOS because she is, and especially in Portal 2. Come on, Potato GLaDOS, give me some. Yeah, no.
That was one of the best twists ever in gaming.
Yeah. I love GLaDOS. She teases you the whole way through. She's so sassy. If she was human, I would date her. Oh, I love this. I love GLaDOS so much.
I think we're learning a lot more about Eugene than we are about GLaDOS.
It's the Gruntilda effect.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely. Yeah, no. If you guys haven't played Portal or Portal 2, I know they're on not on Nintendo systems, but hey, actually, why aren't they on the Switch? Let's make that a thing.
And do we have any
I would
Valve
rebuy
games
them.
on the Switch yet?
Bridge
I mean,
Constructor
rumors
Portal.
we might get Overwatch, but
Right.
yeah. I especially loved how sardonic she became when she lost her, body,
Yeah.
as it were. like she just turns into Daria. It's just so
There's there's this scene where Wheatley's insulting you, and he's like, "Oh, you're so fat," and she's like, "Look at her, she's not even that fat," and then she whispers, "You are kind of chubby." She's so perfect.
we all right. Getting off a slight tangent here, but if I had to add one of them, I think Wheatley would top GLaDOS because
It's really
I didn't
good.
think you could top GLaDOS, but Wheatley is one of my favorite video game characters ever, just because he's so incompetent, but you don't
Yeah.
realize how incompetent he is until it's basically you learn that's what he is he was designed to be incompetent.
I love it.
And then you start going through the factory after he's taken it over and he's completely run it into the ground. If Trump were an AI, it would be weird.
There's your episode title, Eugene.
Oh God.
There, that's my political commentary for the year. I'll shut up now.
Right, well,
Lucas,
I guess
save me.
I'll take over. Mine is much more traditional, so get ready to be bored. But my number one pick is absolutely, without a doubt, Ganondorf.
You disappoint me.
Not the Zelda villain I thought you was gonna pick, sir.
There's a lot of
all right.
really good
Steve, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Ghirahim. Yeah, Ghirahim is amazing, but he's no Ganondorf, man.
Okay, let's hear
and
it.
Specifically, Ganondorf from his Ocarina of Time debut.
There it is.
Like,
I forgot about that.
He's good in Twilight Princess. He's good in Wind Waker. He's an older, sadder Ganondorf in each. He's more malicious. But the Ganondorf in Ocarina of Time, man, he is just. And first of all, let me say I'm really happy he's back in Smash.
Yeah.
There's just so much that Ocarina of Time does right with him. I love that you meet him as a child. He's planning on sabotaging the king. You spy on him through the window, and he has no idea who you are.
Right.
Then you get frozen in time. He follows you in and seals your fate. And you come back, and it's one of the only examples I can think of in a game where everything that you're seeing from like the third point in the game is a result of his influence. He's won. It's a video game villain who actually won, and he's taken over the world, and the world is evil and corrupt, and he's driven people out of town, and all these monsters are roaming the plains. It's just, it's really well done. It's aged, obviously as well as you can expect. But just going back,
the 3DS port helps with the aging.
The 3DS port helps.
Yeah, I'm really hoping we. I didn't used to wish for this, but now I really hope that we get an HD port of the 3DS games.
Yeah, I totally agree, because I'm playing Ocarina of Time right now, and man, the painted backgrounds really show their age.
Oh, I think I told you this. Every Christmas time,
everything else.
I think I told you this. About every Christmas time, I play that game again, and I ended up playing the 3DS version this time. And yeah, you're not wrong. Like it's so beautiful.
The 3DS version is what you remember.
Right, I was going to say, the 3DS version is a great example of a remake that looks exactly the way you remember it and better than it actually looked.
And you know what? A good thing for that for me is that after I play Ocarina of Time, I always have to play Master Quest. So that it was interesting for me to boot up Master Quest because it is the old graphics,
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. It's story wise, Lucas, you actually hit on one of the reasons why I still think Twilight Princess story-wise pales in comparison to Ocarina of Time, because Twilight Princess starts out with everything being drab and dreary and miserable, and so Ocarina of Time had a perfect story structure in that you learned to love the world and appreciate the world and get to know the characters and familiarize with everything before it goes to complete shit. And so when you awaken from the Temple of Time and everything's completely destroyed, you have that sinking feeling in your stomach. Oh my God, everything I knew is gone.
You've been to these places, you've met these people, and everyone's life is worse because you failed. So now it's time for you to make things right and go out. Yeah, it's I
didn't even get that feeling. It was just the tragedy of the whole thing. Like it's hard to feel the tragedy in Twilight Princess because you never knew what things were like before.
Honestly, I even have a problem with that. I was just going to say Breath of the Wild because it tells you that you failed and it tells you that Ganondorf took over, but you didn't see the world before it.
Yeah, you can infer what happened. There's that one field with all the guardians.
I think what works more in Breath of the Wild's favor, and I know we're getting way off topic here, but
because I still have stuff to say, so do your thing and then we'll get back to
it. The fact that you come across ruins of things and it kind of stimulates your imagination to think, what was this place at one point? You see a house that's just a pile of rubble, and it's like somebody lived here at one point. This might have been a house I would have visited in another game, Anyway.
So I just wanted to make one last point Ganondorf wise, other than design, which come on, it looks so good.
That hair, right?
And one of the things, okay, I have multiple things to say. I'm sorry. One of the things that I love about him in that game versus his future games is, again, in Wind Waker, it's I coveted the wind because I grew up in the desert. In Twilight Princess, it's I got sealed away, so I'm gonna. In that one, he just comes up to you and he's like, "Hey, kid, I'm gonna kick your." He's so just nonchalant. He's a bad guy. He's never lost, and he honestly believes he can become the Dark King of Death. And
he's evil for the sake of being evil.
He's evil by default. He's born into it, and he knows it's his right. He's never lost a battle, so he's here to just take what's his. But the cruel joke of the game that has never been done as well, in my opinion, with the Triforce playing a central theme, is that Link and Zelda have these two pieces of the Triforce, which are basically given to you by the gods to determine you are a hero chosen to bring about a holy. And the last piece of the Triforce is given to Ganondorf. So the villain has the other piece. The villain also has divine justice on his side. There's something so uniquely cool about that. It's the gods aren't just cheering for you. They're saying, out of the three of you, one of you is going to be okay. That's really cool. I really like that a lot. So that's why Ganondorf is
Neither can die while the other lives.
the best thing ever. It's amazing to that moment, like the first time you play it, because nowadays Triforce of power is Ganondorf, but that first time you see it when he holds up his hand and he's got the Triforce, it's like, oh God, we don't have this as under control as we thought we did. It's really cool.
There's something to be said about that too, because like especially
and that
if
was
you
the first game that did that too.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
like now we're all used to it, but yeah, that was the first time you're like, oh my God, he isn't after the Triforce, he is the
part
Triforce.
of it. Like, he was chosen by the gods, just like you. Like, they don't care who wins; they just gave everybody power and said, "Have fun with it." So,
Well, and you guys are lucky because I didn't get that experience with that game.
yeah,
Because that wasn't the first 3D Zelda I had played, and I had already seen him with the Triforce in other games.
yeah.
So, I
kinda-
didn't get that moment where he holds up his hand and you're like, oh crap.
It's kind of like if you would.
For me,
play,
it was like, oh yeah, he's got the Triforce, just
Yeah.
like in the other two games. I
It's
played.
kind of like if you had played Smash Bros. Before you played Ocarina of Time, and you're like,
Sure.
"Oh, she's Zelda! Big surprise!" Like,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, another reason why I'm glad. I mean, it's damage is done by now, but I'm glad that they changed Zelda for Ultimate because now they're at least two different characters.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I'm disappointed that you didn't go with Girahim,
I'm
but at the same time, I'm kind of glad you went with Ganondorf because my number one is Ganon. Not Ganondorf, not human Ganon.
No,
and
Pig
not-
Ganon.
big old piggy boy.
And not the Ganon in Ocarina of Time or not Dark Beast Ganon from Breath of the Wild. I'm talking Ganon from Zelda 1, Zelda 2, Zelda 3. That and the Oracle games like the blue pig Ganon, the sentient
I thought he was pink.
no, that was Link there.
Sorry, Eugene. Spoiler alert. He turns blue.
It's and I keep wishing Nintendo would go back to that version of Ganon. And like it was especially the not Ocarina of Time, the Link to the Past Ganon fits so perfectly between the original Legend of Zelda and Ocarina of Time. Like Ocarina of Time shows how this man, basically choked on his own ambitions and turned into this monster and then was sealed away. And then, of course, you find out that the past comes after Ocarina of Time. And look, he's still a monster and he's still sealed away in this world. And now he's taken it over. And, so they did a good job kind of fitting those two games in together retroactively.
Yeah.
But like, I just find that character design, especially from A Link to the Past, A Link Between Worlds, sort of. You got, Yuga Ganon. And the other depictions of Big Blue Pig Ganon. I find that such a fascinating character design because he's humanoid, but he's monster. He looks like a giant moblin, basically, from that old design of moblins. But he's still as intelligent and ambitious as his human form.
Yeah.
And in the Zelda games that I grew up with, those monsters were a regular part of the world, and it wasn't really until Breath of the Wild where the other races kind of had as much prominence as they do now that you got this feeling that the world of Hyrule is not just humans and a few other animals.
Yeah.
And so like Ganon I've always preferred Ganon over Ganondorf because I think the design is more interesting and he's more monstrous, literally and figuratively.
There's also like an interesting parallel to kind of a what you think of when you think of Christianity, Satan. I mean, he's this hooved monster that walks around. He's boar instead of
hooved. I mean, he wasn't even hooved back then.
Oh, really?
Like, I'm talking pre Ocarina of Time design, like where he was just basically a giant blue fat pig.
He's got the trident. He's freaking I mean, just to me, he's always felt very satanic. Like
yeah, and I kind of like, and which is why the final battle of Ocarina of Time was actually such a powerful thing for me, is because you like Yeah, like here's Ganon. Oh, he's not Ganon anymore. He's Ganondorf, and he's human. Oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, I
Guess
defeated
what?
him in the and then oh my god, this is the Ganon that I thought I was going to be fighting, and like there's just this epic moment. And I mean, he was just a mindless monster, as the beast form of Ganon has been ever since that game. But still, like, yeah, that's the Ganon I know, the giant horned pig thing. And
Steve, did you have your mind blown?
Yeah, future show idea or article idea for that matter. A comparison between Ganon and the devil.
There you go.
There you go.
Holy crap! Sorry,
I have
that's
one
twice
thing to.
tonight.
I have one thing
You
to
can-
contribute to that. So
Go
we're
ahead.
obviously talking about the Zelda villains a lot tonight. Where does Agamemnon sit among them? The Zelda 3 villain.
Oh, the
Aghanim-
wizard.
You know, Aghanim
It's
almost
interesting because he's just
made
Ganondorf.
my almost. He isn't. He is actually a separate character.
Are you sure about that?
According
I
to
swear
according to
he was
official
Ganondorf.
canon and all the wikis, Aghanim was a pawn of Ganon,
Huh.
and
interesting.
when he failed to,
I can look
defeat
him up in the
hero-
encyclopedia. We can do a reading
Yeah.
from.
No, we're reading.
I've got Hyrule Historia right up there.
Oh, I'm gonna get the encyclopedia. It's newer.
God. Maybe that'll be a special for listeners
I
who aren't on the live or who are on the live stream because it's already really late.
Right.
I used to think that Aghanim was Ganon in disguise as well, but yeah, he's a separate character.
Wow.
Nice.
Oh shit, that's art and artifacts. God damn it.
I was gonna say that's the wrong book. By the way, Art and Artifacts and the encyclopedia are on my Amazon wish list if anybody's looking to get me a birthday present.
There we go.
Anyway,
Gee.
yeah, Aghanim almost made my list for much the same reason as Ganondorf did make the list, and I thought Girahim was going to make the list because he's kind of the he's like the henchman of Ganon that is more memorable than Ganon because you meet him more. But
Right.
I loves me some big blue pig Ganon.
Nice. All right. Well, that was fun, I thought. If you guys wanted to tell us what your top 5 villains were, go on Twitter and use the hashtag InfendoTop5, the number 5. Let us know. We're going to be right back and we're going to play some Nintendo tunes.
All right, so just to clarify, are we skipping Change the System tonight?
Yes,
Because
we don't
Yeah.
have time for it.
late, dude.
I
Yeah, we'll
forgot we
do-
were even doing Nintendo tunes. I thought Infendo Top 5 was instead of Nintendo tunes.
Nope.
Yeah,
we're doing
I would-
Nintendo tunes and we still have a question block too.
Mm-hmm.
So let me
Why is
get-
there no
Alright, so
index?
in the future, I think Nintendo tunes should be replaced by Infendo Top 5 or whatever discussion point we
Well, now
have.
that we know it's going to
Both
take us
of them-
a freaking hour and a half.
Yeah, I was gonna say both of them run long.
Shh.
I mean, one of the reasons we were kind of pushing Nintendo tunes to the side was because it's so time consuming sometimes.
If you want to suggest a song for Nintendo tunes, you can too. Just head on over to patreon.com/InfendoRadio and
How's our volume?
Sounded good. to
Good.
me.
I'm going to as long as we're on break, I'm going to go pee. So,
Okay, fair enough.
I'll miss you.
and hopefully I will still have a computer when I come back. Thus far, it seems to be doing well. So, as long as I don't move it, it should be fine. As long as I don't move my portable computer.
Yeah, I definitely think Infendo Top 5 is a good Nintendo's replacement rather than a news replacement.
Mhm.
I don't think the two necessarily belong in the same segment.
Well, what I was planning on doing is we have 5 Nintendo tunes suggestions from Patreon people. I'm going to either just play those ones, depending on how long they take, or
Maybe kind of keep it a little bit shorter than usual.
yeah,
That's probably a good move. I appreciate that.
But yeah, obviously I have the 5 that I have as well, but as backup or whatever.
Did I tell you I got like the complete Zelda manga as a Christmas present?
No, that sounds interesting.
Very excited for it. Also, I didn't realize the author's name is actually the name of it's like one person's pen name, but it's actually the name that these 2 different women who wrote and drew the entire series like used together, which is pretty cool. And the series is very interesting. It's all like non-canonical. It's very much like its own take on the stories, but it's an interesting plot. I really like it a lot. So.
Is it are the authors Japanese authors?
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
1 second. I will grab a book and I will get you their names that you won't know because they're just random Japanese names.
Right.
Anyway.
Give them their propers anyways. Steve's still looking for Aghanim or Agahim or whatever its name is.
Yeah, here we go. Monsters and Demons. He's got to be in here. The Origin of Evil. Limbs, stalls.
Oh, you know what I did forget to do this week was put in the "We'll be right back" screen. Maybe I'll make that for next week. Like when we're on break, you know.
They go by Akira Himikawa, but that's actually the name of a collaboration of two women, A. Honda and S. Nagano. Together, they've created 9 manga adventures featuring Link in the popular video game world of The Legend of Zelda. So that's the thing.
Let me see that again.
Boop.
Aww. Aww.
Yeah, it goes from Ocarina of Time all the way through Wind Waker. It's got like Ocarina of Time Part 1 and 2, Majora's Mask, Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons, Link's Awakening, you know.
Right.
Okay, so a reading from the great book, the Encyclopedia of The Legend of Zelda. Aghanim, the Dark Priest Aghanim, awaits Link at the top of Hyrule Castle early in A Link to the Past. This dark wizard fires 3 distinct types of magical projectiles, all incredibly dangerous. Aghanim's body is protected by a barrier, making direct attacks ineffective. Link must volley Aghanim's magic back at him using the Master Sword in order to do any damage.
Dead man's volley.
When Link faces him for a second time in Ganon's tower, Aghanim splits into 3 for his assault. Not to be confused with Aghanima, the mini-boss of the Dancing Dragon dungeon from the Oracle of Seasons. A powerful wizard, Aghanima, shoots fireballs and can also clone himself. What's more, he cannot be attacked while the room is dark. In order to strike,
I thought that
Link
was just Aghanim. Again, or whatever.
No, this is Aghanima.
Jesus,
Link must
dude,
first
come
light
on.
the room using ember seeds, and then use Aghanima's shadow to distinguish him from the clones.
I have to play those games again, I think.
I'm
It's been
still
so
waiting to hear the part where it says that it's not Ganondorf.
The Dark Priest Aghanim?
Yeah.
That right there says he's not Ganondorf.
That doesn't
Ganondorf
define,
isn't a Dark Priest.
that doesn't define anything to me. See, I had always heard that was just a disguise that Ganondorf was using to, you know.
No, he's his own thing.
That's,
You, the king of Zelda canon.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'd never heard that before. And
Yeah.
what you read me does not conclusively seem to state anything. They
The
refer to him as a dark.
Priest
They refer
Aghanim.
to him as a dark priest. That doesn't mean that he can't be Ganondorf in disguise.
All right.
It doesn't say it here.
He
They
can,
coconut
he
man.
is a Sheikah ninja, but nobody says that Sheik isn't Zelda. Like,
Oh no, coconut.
oh, let a coconut ring in the
Let's do it.
morning.
We're already a little behind, so let's Nintendo tunes away. I'm gonna mute myself, play the music, and then away we go.
Oh, I guess I have to keep scoring now, don't I?
If you want to suggest a song for Nintendo Tunes, you can too. Just head on over to patreon.com/Infendo Radio and sign up at the $2 tier.
All right, it's Nintendo Tunes time. It's been a while since we've had a Nintendo Tunes, actually, so this is actually going to be a refreshing change of pace, believe it or not. But in any case, hello everybody. This is Nintendo Tunes. I don't know if you haven't been with us before. Maybe your first episode was at the turn of the new year. But what this is all about is I've got a list of games, and these fine gentlemen are going to try and guess what those games are by listening to the music from them. This week we actually have a bunch of games from our patrons, 5 of them actually. So that is a very exciting. You know what to do if you want to suggest a game. You know where to go. So we'll let you do that. So our first song comes to us from, and forgive me as I'm stalling for time and opening up Patreon.
As long as you're stalling for time, I'm going to interrupt you and tell you that my recording stopped. We have to sync up again.
Oh, God.
I was wondering what the finger wag was. It looked urgent.
All right, well then, I guess we'll just start that over again.
Well, I mean, you can just kind of splice me in.
Well,
it did save it, so just keep the intro you already did and cut this little snippet out.
Well,
all right.
That won't work because I got the music rolling in the background, so we kind of got to start over from the beginning.
Music schmusic. All right, I am recording.
Okay.
And 3, 2, 1.
All right, where are you at, Justin?
About 20 seconds, and I actually, my spikes are about a second before you clapped, so do we want to sync up again?
No, it's fine. It's because there's the talking, and then I'll sync that up with the other video or whatever. All right, I muted myself. Here comes the music. Here we go.
If you want to suggest a song for Nintendo's, you can too. Just head on over to patreon.com/Infendo Radio and sign up at the $2 tier.
And we're back! This is Nintendo's time. It's a fun little game that we like to play over here at Infendo Radio. If this is your first time listening, well, you're in for a treat. This game is very fun, and I've got a list of games from our lovely patrons, and what these fine gentlemen are going to do is they're going to try and guess what those games are by listening to the music. We're going to start with our lovely listener, Slacker Monkey. He gives us this game, and here we go. Oh man, I think this one is going to go quick, but we'll see. I don't know if you guys have played this one.
Is this Octopath?
It is not Octopath. You're in the right genre, though.
Child of Light?
Nope.
Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
No,
It is not Final Fantasy.
Can we get a second track?
You can get a second track.
Is this Smash Ultimate?
It is not Smash Ultimate.
That sounded like the World of Light theme for a minute.
All right, I'm gonna give you a hint. This, I guess I gave you the first hint already that it's a RPG title. Your second hint is that this game appeared on the GameCube.
Bateman Kados?
It is not.
Damn.
God, I don't know any RPGs on the GameCube other than Crystal Chronicles.
What is this? Crap.
I'm sorry?
Words.
No, I had a question, and that was that even if you answer the question in a way that benefits me, I still can't give you the exact title of what I'm thinking of. So I'm just gonna blurt it out. Is this one of, if not the only, Fire Emblem game?
It is not Fire Emblem.
Room
Okay.
Factory?
Not Room Factory.
Am I gonna kick myself when somebody gets the title of this?
If you don't, I'll do it for you.
No. Do we have any more tracks?
I got some more tracks. I got 2 more
Right.
tracks. I'll give you some
Play
more
that
tracks.
music.
I'm gonna play that fucking music. Here we go.
Oh, I know this! I know this!
Of course you
I listen to this song all the time. It's okay, I can't give you the name of the game, but it's the game with Lloyd who has the 2 swords and the red scarf. What's the name of the game, Eugene? I get this.
Wow.
Oh, Tales of Symphonia.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna get there. I knew you were gonna get there.
I was giving him a half a point just for that.
God, good job, Luke.
Okay, Tales of Symphonia was a game I really wanted to play as a kid, but I couldn't play it. I didn't have disposable income, so I listened to this song and really playing the game for like 4 weeks.
Yeah, it's super good. I love this game. It's, if you owned a GameCube and you liked RPGs, you had this game. Awesome. So Lucas with the first point.
Of the year.
Ha! You're not wrong. All right. So our next track is going to come from the lovely Schnazzy one, and away we go.
NBA Jam?
Nope. You would think.
This Rocky?
It is not. I started with this track on purpose as a troll track. This is not one of the tracks that Schnazzy one suggested, but I couldn't resist.
This isn't Rayman Origins, is it?
It is not. Alright, I think you've heard about enough that you need to hear about this track. Let's move on to the next.
Da-na-na. It is a platformer, isn't it?
I'm not willing to give you that answer yet. This game appeared on the Nintendo 64.
Monopoly?
It is not Monopoly.
Rayman 64?
It is not Rayman 64.
Rayman 3D or Rayman 3?
Okay, fine. It's a platformer, but it's not Rayman.
Okay.
This Mischief Makers?
It is not Mischief Makers. Here's your next track.
Conker?
Glover?
Nope.
Rugrats?
And nope. I'm sorry?
Rugrats?
Not Rugrats. It's not a licensed title.
Ah. Good call, Lucas.
Alright.
Rugrats Party Game.
Your next hint is that this game also had a Game Boy Advance version of it.
Gex?
Oh, god damn it, that's what I was going to say.
Not Gex.
Advance, not color?
Game Boy. I'm sorry, Game Boy Color.
Oh, okay, I was going to say that's
Wait, did you say it
very
was
late
Rugrats?
stage N64 game.
It's an N64 game.
Okay.
N64.
Your next hint is that this game used the Rumble Pack?
Spy versus Spy.
Well, that narrows it down.
That was a game.
The Rumble Pack is like the only accessory that everybody used.
I'm gonna guess Spy versus Spy. It was not a game on that.
I don't think it was on the N64, but they did a game of it.
Not Spy vs. Spy. Here's your next track. I've got a hint that's gonna just give it away, but I don't want to give that one yet.
Alright, how about, can we get developer?
Ha! No.
Evidently that
Fair
that
enough.
hint's gonna give it away too.
Okay. There is
Is
a
it Wrecking Ball's a platformer or a racing game?
Racing.
so
Okay.
all right. This game this is okay. So this game originally, it's a weird game that originally appeared on the Nintendo 64 and was ported to the PlayStation under a different name.
You're just confusing me.
I feel like I should know this now.
I feel like you should know this, Justin.
that's the type of piece of trivia my brain would retain. But
Does the main character
not.
wear gloves?
Oh God. No.
is the character a glove?
One of the characters is a very good boy. Here's your next track.
I know that's a
Max?
clue, but it's not helping.
Sam and Max? That was
It's not
the game, right?
It's not Sam and Max.
You know what
All
I'm
right.
talking about, though, right? The one with the dog detective and the little rabbit
Yep.
and the
Yeah.
rabbit was homicidal.
That was not N64.
All right. I'm gonna give it away, probably to Justin. Let's be honest. So,
Wait. Lucas has something to say.
this is
Never
the last
mind.
track, by the way. All right. So the developer of this game was DMA Design.
Was this crap? I know the name of this.
The
Space
publisher
something.
is Take-Two Interactive. Think of
Space Jumper,
Space
Space
Station,
Boss.
Silicon Valley, or something to that effect.
That's it. Steve, you were there. You gave it to Justin too. You shouldn't have said anything.
I know.
No,
I was trying to
DMA that
snipe
gave
it.
it away. It was DMA that gave it away.
Very nice. Space Station Silicon Valley, the game that was ported over to the PlayStation in 2012, or in 2000 rather, was Evo's Space Adventures. All right, well that was a fun one. Here is your next track. This one comes to you from Phantom. Let's see if I can find
Final
it.
Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
No. You should be listening to Phantom in Discord. I think he's been playing this. Or somebody has, anyways. I know that I've heard it.
Why don't I listen to Phantom in Discord?
Here, I just rejoined it.
No, I don't listen to anyone in Discord.
Apparently he hasn't been playing it for a while, so I guess I'm not listening to Phantom in Discord either.
We're wonderful hosts of our Discord.
Somebody's been playing it.
Lucky for us, he owns our Discord, so. Okay.
Right. Here's our next track. Alright, how about some hints here? This game appeared on the Switch for a Nintendo console.
Means it's been on everything.
This is gonna be some game with "of" as the middle word. I'm not gonna know what it is. It's got some really weird name,
And-
like Aegis of Eternity or something. And
Steve will know everything about it after he finds out.
yeah,
You're not wrong.
This game, I'll give you. Yeah, all right. This game was a Kickstarter campaign.
Well, crap.
Here's your next track.
That's a big hint, too.
oh, I just don't think I'm gonna be able to get this without like cheating and going into the.
Is this Skyrim Kickstarter edition?
It's not. All right. I'm gonna give you the genre.
RPG?
Nope.
Really?
This game is a Metroidvania.
Also does not help.
That should have it down.
Is
Wait,
it Dead Cells?
It's not Dead Cells.
Interesting. Oh boy.
Crap, he was talking about this in the Discord. What the hell was it?
Is this? No. I'm gonna ask it anyway. Is this licensed?
It's not licensed. Here's your next track. I'm gonna give you the developer and publisher. It might ring a bell or two. The developer and publisher, because it's an indie title if you can't guess, is Team Cherry.
God, did we get a review code for this?
I don't think so, actually.
Okay.
I like how nobody has guessed anything about this game correctly thus far. It's not an RPG. It's not licensed. We didn't get a review code.
We're narrowing it down.
By process of elimination.
All right. Anybody got any
Hey,
questions?
if you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, however unlikely, must be true.
You know, I just don't even have a guess. Like,
Yeah.
I got nothing.
I got nothing on this.
I guess the last thing I'll do is I'll read the opening from Wikipedia, see if that helps
Because-
at all.
Hang on. I have a very specific question,
Okay.
and I don't know that you're going to be able to answer it.
Does the main
Okay.
character wear gloves?
That's not the question I was going to ask. Has this game been seen on sale recently?
I couldn't tell you. I'm sorry.
What kind of question is that?
I have a guess.
Guess it then. What are we doing? What are we doing? We're holding you up from that?
Is it Hollow Knight?
It's Hollow Knight!
No way.
Yeah.
That's why I asked that question, because I bought it when it was on sale, and I actually got the version with the little plush that comes with the digital download code.
Nice.
And I was like, where have I seen Team Cherry before? Because I saw that name.
I didn't understand the need for secrecy. It's like we're not anywhere near.
Neither of us were anywhere close getting this. You could have just blurted it out.
No, don't let them take this moment away from you, Steve. I'm proud of you.
Holy
moment. You know,
Thank you, Phantom. I love you. I think it's because he was listening to me. I still haven't booted the game up, by the way. Sorry.
Like most of my eShop games.
It's in the pile of shame.
All right. Well, let's move on to our next listener suggestion. Yeah, why don't we get a point total here?
I think we just did.
We're all tied at 1.
Oh, girl. Okay, this is interesting. And since we did run long on that Infendo top 5, we only got 5 today, so there's only 2 left. So this is gonna
2
get
rounds.
Yeah, this is getting spicy. So, all right, we're gonna move on with Mike
We'll
Corky.
probably have to, unless somebody gets both of those, we'll probably have to have another round. Otherwise, it'll be a tie.
Hey, we'll see.
Unless
We'll find out.
either somebody gets both of them or nobody gets one of them.
I kind of have a feeling that's what's gonna happen with this next one, but we'll find out. This one comes from Mike Corky Dog, and away we go. I'm gonna kind of skip forward on this one because it's kind of quiet in the beginning.
What?
You'll be happy to know I held off on a your mom joke.
Jeez.
Is this Child of Light?
It's not.
You asked that as if we've asked Child of Light 100 times before. It's the
No,
first
but I've
time
asked it. I've asked it once tonight already.
No.
It's got a somewhat similar art style to Child of Light, though, I guess, sort of. In a way.
Muramasa?
It's not Muramasa.
That would have pissed Lucas off.
I've ever played Muramasa.
I don't even know what it is.
It seems like a U game.
No, it very much was. I just never got around to it.
How about another track?
We just keep talking about Muramasa.
That is a good game. You should play it. Oh, is that a game that is ever going to come out on Switch?
It's on Switch.
Speaking of on Switch, what system is this on?
This game is on Switch. Funny
Yeah, I
enough.
figured.
RPG?
Oh, I got it. Hotel Transylvania 3.
No. This game, according to Wikipedia, is a indie platform adventure game.
Oh boy.
Unless we get another game that came out like prior to the year 2000, I think I'm done getting points tonight.
Not Bolt Boy.
It's not, no.
I'm gonna go off of that one. Is it Owl Boy?
It's not Owlboy. Good guess, though.
That would have pissed Lucas
Your
off.
boy.
Played Owl Boy either. Don't even have any interest in it.
No, but that would have been a snipe.
So
Yeah,
this
okay.
this game has received like a bunch of like indie game of the year awards and stuff like that. It's really a highly revered game with highly critically
Celeste?
not Celeste.
Say Celeste
Is this
more-
Dead Cells? Because
It's
that
not.
got a lot of Game of the Years.
Not Dead Cells.
Already covered Hollow Knight, so
Yeah.
Here's your next track. It's a game I haven't gotten around to, but I definitely want to give it a go.
Is this a last year game?
This game came out like literally at the tail end of last year, December 13th.
In his element.
I'm sorry?
I said Steve's in his element. In his emails.
Well, the thing is I hear about them, and then I forget their names.
I hear
said
their
it's
name,
an indie
don't know
platformer.
anything about them.
Light Spear?
It's not.
Are you looking at a list, Lucas?
No, that's just a popular video game. No, I'm actually playing Zelda 2.
All right, here's a
Oh,
hint. This game was published by Devolver Digital.
Oh god.
Shit.
Not Enter the Gungeon. They didn't do that. I've played a Devolver game.
We got a review code for this, didn't we? Fuck. What was the name of that game?
Is that one I got?
I don't know if anybody's redeemed it yet, but I'm almost positive we got a review code.
No,
for this.
it's that game I threw into the other review code Discord, isn't it? No, so it's the other one that we just got that I haven't read the title of yet.
That one Justin really wanted to play?
The one that I recommended to Justin.
No, I don't. I think you guys are on the wrong place here because I don't think anybody's posted this in the Discord.
I've played a Devolver Digital game.
All right, here's another track.
What did they do?
So it's not Downwell?
Nope.
Okay.
God, tonight's music selection is depressing.
Just comment.
All right, I'm gonna read you the synopsis from Wikipedia.
Go for it.
I guess after playing this next track, since that one was short. So the game follows a girl named Blank, who is actually the titular, whatever.
Diary?
No. Who wakes up in the palm of a crumbling statue of a woman. She attempts to sing out, but quickly becomes choked up, and the statue's hands crumble, dropping her into a colorless earth below.
Well, that doesn't sound like anything I've played.
Your last hint. Ooh, this one. I don't know if I want to give you that hint. All right.
Like we're doing so good.
I'm gonna give. If I give you this hint, it's only gonna be worth a half point at this point. So, do you guys give up at this for that?
Yeah.
I agree to the rules.
I
Okay.
agree.
So
Whatever.
this game is the same name of a color.
Oh, Greece.
Yeah. This is Greece.
Good job, Justin.
Wait. Greece is a color?
Greece, as in gray.
French.
Greece.
Oh, okay. I was thinking
Greece.
like the stuff that comes out of cows, or
Grease Lightning. Oh,
Yeah.
Grease
Very
Lightning.
good pull, Justin. Good pull.
Good job,
What kind
Justin.
of cows have you been milking?
the dead patified kind.
All right. So Justin pulls ahead by a half point. That half point could
Oh, this-
take him to the victory lane. We'll see. We have
road.
one track left. This one comes from this one comes from Minus. Oh, I think that I know who's gonna get this one, but we're gonna try it anyways.
See what happens.
All right, here we go.
WarioWare Gold?
Nope.
I'm so distracted by Justin's eyebrows.
Toe Jam and Earl?
It's not.
Is this Rhythm Heaven?
It is not Rhythm Heaven.
This is an interesting choice.
Justin is so distracting. If you're not watching the live stream, you've really got to watch this because this is funny.
It's actually rather disturbing.
I do this like every Nintendo's. You've never noticed? I sit here
Not
and
to this extent.
gesture to the beat.
Your head is moving, but your body isn't. It's wonderful. Can we get another track?
Yeah, your mom was impressed with it last night.
God, here we go.
There it is.
Katamari Damacy.
You guys want
Definitely
hints?
sounds
You guys
very
need it?
Japanese.
Give me some questions. What you guys want?
It's a Switch
Is it
game, isn't it?
Japanese?
This is a Switch game. I don't know if this was a Japanese game, actually, Justin. I don't think so.
What an odd soundtrack.
Your cat. Okay. So your cat's about to jump on your chair there.
God, I have nothing for this.
Yeah.
I guess I have the benefit of hindsight.
Here's the next track.
And you're sure one of us is going to get this?
I thought. I mean, I was sure of it.
Which one?
If nobody gets it, I win Nintendo's. Actually, I got a 50-50 chance here. Either I'll get it no one will get it, or one of you guys will get it.
I think that's 33%.
So it doesn't mean you have a 33% chance.
No, because if nobody gets it, I still win.
He's not wrong.
So then you've got a 66% chance.
Steve, let him have this.
No, because there are two. Did you forget Lucas exists?
This is a Switch game.
Oh, okay. Let's do the math
We're
here,
focusing.
Steve.
No, we're focusing on the wrong thing. Music.
No, actually, you're out of focus.
Background of every track.
Oh, Lucas is picking up on some stuff. It is not Owlboy. Here's your next track.
Light.
Nope.
Yeah, what sort of clue do we have other than it's on Switch?
Yeah, can we get
That's it.
You haven't asked me anything. You guys
Can
are
we
talking
get another
about.
clue?
Well, Steve was distracted by my eyebrows.
Sounds the same.
What clues do you want? I can give you anything you want.
Genre.
This is a role-playing game, but it is also a sports game.
Golf Story.
Golf Story.
So who got that?
Come on, that was me.
I think I gotta give it to Lucas.
Unless there was lag on
All right.
my end, I said it first. Like,
Oh,
maybe there
all
was
right.
lag.
See, this is what I heard. I heard O from Justin, and then I heard Lucas say golf, and then it was like Golf Story, and then by the time that happened, you said Golf Story. So that's what I heard.
Okay, I'm just letting you know I'm willing to either settle with a tie or a win, but I'm not losing because of that. Because I swear
Well, this is going to be my compromise. I'll my half advantage, and we call this a tie and do one more round.
Oh, all right. You want to go into the final
Eugene,
count?
you got tiebreakers, right? Because
Yeah.
I imagine
Yeah,
with
yeah.
11.
All right, well
All
then
right.
that's fair.
I'll shut up. This,
Well, I had a
that's
theme.
worth it right there.
So I'll tell you my theme for my one track that I'm going to give you. All of my games are sequels. So this game is going to be a sequel of some sort.
Sequelitis.
God. I think this is going to be a tough one, and I like it. So here we go. Actually, I
I'm
don't
enjoying
think
that
this is going to be
smooth jazz right now.
Metroid Prime 2.
Nope.
Is this a Metroid
Banjo
game?
Tooie.
Ha! This is Banjo Tooie.
This is
That is
Mayan
not what I
level,
thought it was.
This is the Mayan temple. I thought I would trick you up with this one, but very nice.
I have not played this game.
I thought it was
I
Majora's
played
Mask.
this game despite having rare replay on my Xbox One.
Awesome. All right, Lucas. Well, you did it. You took us into the promised land. You are the winner of this week's Nintendo. How do you feel?
Feel good. Justin, you're a worthy foe. Steve, you're also worthy. Slightly less so than Justin, but still worthy.
All right. Well, we're gonna take a little break here, and then we're gonna roll into the question block.
But you know,
Yeah, I seriously thought that was Majora's Mask. No joke.
it's definitely not Majora's Mask, but it hasn't hit that Grant Kirkhope like tone
All
yet.
of
So
a sudden I heard, oh.
How about this one? This is probably my favorite.
Ooh, the Honey Queen.
I love
Give me
it.
that Honey Queen.
that's
What was
yeah.
it?
That's
I'm going
definitely got a
to-
Rare and sexy bumblebees.
I'm gonna roll us
I'm-
right into the question block.
Got a question
How does
you're
this-
just
how's the
dying to
audio?
know the answer to?
Too
Head on
loud?
over to patreon.com/Infendo Radio, and for $3 a month, you can ask
that,
us
Lucas. It
anything
freaks me
you
the
want.
hell out.
Our audio is good, I assume.
Or at least not like lip sync to it. Do something.
Once I remember what I said, it's really easy. Yeah, Eugene, it sounded good.
Oh, does anybody have the show notes open? Because I actually don't. And who wants to take the
I
two
do.
questions?
I also do.
Okay,
By the way, I am still recording. So
great. That's awesome.
Yeah, Steve, I'll take phantoms and you can take minuses, okay?
Good, because I can introduce how mad I am at this segment.
Yeah, and I can end it off with a bang.
All right, here we go. I'm muting myself. Here comes the music.
haven't looked at it yet. So
Well, you'd be ready to enjoy it.
Got a question you're just dying to know the answer to? Head on over to patreon.com/Infendo Radio, and for $3 a month, you can ask us anything you want.
All right, it's question block time. I I don't remember who's going first, so I'm gonna actually randomly choose. Oh, he's got a finger and he wants me to pick. All right, fine, Steve. You're going first.
What does he want you to pick with his finger?
Yeah, I've got another finger for these two patrons here in a minute, and I can say that because they're two of our best friends at the same time. So 1 - 64 asks us, how are these New Year's resolutions going? Keeping it up, or as Elsa from Frozen says, let it go, let it go. I'm not singing that minus, so don't even. I don't really do New Year's resolutions anymore because I always do them and then I never actually do them. What I am finding though is on the Infendo side of things, I'm actually being productive this year. So I'm going to try and keep that going.
I mean, I'm not going to say no because you've been killing it. You're not messing around.
I know, and I'm just going to keep doing it. So.
Pick up all my slack. So I
Yeah, and Eugene, get out the Pikas because fuck the Frozen theme tonight. Lucas, how about your resolutions?
Well, if you're a live listener, or rather viewer, you might have noticed that I'm not in the same room anymore. That's because I moved. So I also don't really do New Year's resolutions, not for any particular reason. I just don't really think to do them, I guess. It seems silly. A year is just an artificial construct that we created for ourselves anyway.
Oh my God.
But I mean, life is.
I mean,
good.
if you really want to get technical, we should be starting the new year on December 21st, which is officially the shortest day of the year and the beginning of a new year. But you know, the Roman
did it when we did it. So
we're on a podcast based out of a Japanese, company. So maybe we had to do it based on their New Year. Do they have the same New Year we do?
I think the Chinese have a different.
What have
New
the
Year.
Romans ever done for us?
That backfired.
So anyway,
because I'm an uncultured swine.
So being in a new space has given me an opportunity to form a lot of new habits and very easily break a bunch of old habits that I've been wanting to break. So without getting into too much detail, life is pretty good right now. I'm with everything kind of being different, everything's up in the air. It's giving me a chance to kind of, rethink and do things differently, and I'm trying to. So we'll see what happens with that. But that's me. Also, I've been working more on my game because I've had a little more. Like I've got less people around. I have less family and stuff that I'm hanging out with all the time. So there's more moments of loneliness, and with that loneliness comes a desire to work on my game. So here I am making progress. So
all right, Uncle.
Yay! Depression fueling inspiration.
Well, it's not really depression as much as it is just a lack of stimuli. So I'm taking it and I'm running with it. There's positives and negatives to everything, and one of the positives of having less people around is it gives me more time to work on my own stuff.
Right.
So,
Yeah. No, I'm kind of with you on that one, Lucas. I never really do the sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But I don't usually do the resolution thing. I just kind of, take the punches as they come, Like if I want to change something, then I'll try and change it in the moment. That's how I try and approach life. But, to each their own.
Well, piggybacking off of Lucas's, the listeners are missing out on a visual gag for that one. But anyway, it's why you should watch live on twitch.tv. Since I have a new computer now, which hopefully is going to survive the year, had a couple of glitches with it, which hopefully will get ironed out soon. But one of my New Year's resolutions is getting Utilidoric officially off the ground, doing podcasts for it, doing videos for it, and having a computer that I can just pick up and carry anywhere will really help me. Like, one of my big problems with writing for Infendo, for Utilidoric, for anything really, is that I either have to do it on my phone, which is incredibly inconvenient, or I have to leave wherever I am thinking of whatever it is, go up to my computer room and write it down up there, which is also incredibly inconvenient, both because I have to move and because literally my computer up there is a leather chair with uncomfortably placed in front of me and a television set. So yeah, that's one of my resolutions, is making Utilidoric an actual thing, what I wanted it to be last year. The other resolution is losing weight. because I have been losing weight and I want to be in good shape for my wedding in December. So
That's valiant.
Awesome.
That's good. Awesome. Cool. Well, why don't you read us our next question, Lucas?
All right, Phantom writes, the snow glows white on the mountain tonight, not a footprint to be seen. Kingdom of Isolation, and it looks like I'm the queen. No, actually, Phantom writes, to add to the Frozen quotes, and just because I know how much you guys love Frozen, especially Steve, does the cold never bother you anyway? Okay, so piggybacking off of myself, because apparently I'm the hot, like, piggyback target tonight, ever since I've gotten into this particular room, I wake up like shivering every morning.
Oh gosh.
And I'm not sure why. I think the insulation is just different or something. It has been kind of chilly lately. It's been getting into like the 60s, which for Florida is
Get out of here.
But the cold is bothering me.
Hey, I've lived in Florida in the winter. 60 at night can feel kind of chilly.
It's chilly down here for people like us. I mean, like I hate showers like with a burning passion. Like that's one of my RPG character sheet fun facts. But I have been Steve is freaking out over here. But I have been like dying to jump into the shower in the morning because of the warm water. Like I'm so cold. So
You want to fill the tub with hot water and soak.
the cold very much bothers me anyway, Phantom. I am no Elsa. I am an Anna, and I am ashamed to admit it, but there you have it. Steve, are you an Elsa or an Anna?
I fucking hate this theme. Let's just start with that. Second off, Lucas, what the hell's the matter with you? You hate showers? That's my favorite part of the day. That's how I wash away all the shit.
If you had my shower, you would hate showers as well.
I'm
So
perfect, and my life is perfect, and I don't need to wash anything away. It just needs to stay here. So.
I ask us this so many times, but how are we friends?
I know, it's weird. It's really
Is it the
weird.
whole opposites thing?
Honestly, I think it's just that you're going to go back to the place where you used to work that I almost just said the name of on the air. Be able to get me free tacos. So
Yeah. Oh, not a snowball's chance in hell.
I'm also a vegetarian now, so that might not even be worth it.
Chance and Arendelle.
We used to make them with beans instead of meat, so it would be beans, cheese, lettuce, and tomato in a little crispy shell.
Sounds pretty good, actually.
To answer the actual abysmal question at hand, no, the cold doesn't bother me. I don't really sleep under the covers ever. I sleep under a very thin blanket, and we have a fan that goes all year long because no matter what, I'm freaking dying of heat exhaustion all the time.
My God, you are my fiance.
It is 23 degrees outside right now, and I'm sweating in the room I'm in.
See,
Like
I
it's
also,
disgusting.
Okay,
I also
see, she
actually
gets
have a fan
cold
that runs all night, but that's mostly because I become dependent on the
noise.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's
Yeah,
how my
we-
wife
we're
is.
the same
She
way.
doesn't like it,
Um,
but she has to sleep with the fan going. For
Oh, I
the
like
noise.
it.
No.
I fall asleep to music. Like I actually have a pillow speaker that I play usually like Disney park background music loops because they're usually pretty mellow and instrumental, and I can fall asleep to them, and long enough for me to fall asleep to them. Yeah, I don't hate Frozen. In fact, it's one of my favorite Disney movies. So maybe this
Ugh.
question for
I
me.
also kind of enjoyed Frozen.
Steve,
I thought the
we're
sisterly
leaving.
love angle was kind of sweet. She didn't need
Yeah, I like that. I liked the way they kind of put twists on it. I love the music. Olaf is one of my favorite Disney comic relief. Anyway, yes, the cold does bother me. I do not like being cold. I like being able to wear short sleeves and shorts. However, I would rather it be too cold than too warm for a variety of reasons. Number one, if it's
You
too
can only
cold,
get so naked.
well, right. Exactly. If it's too hot, you can only take off so much clothes, and then you're just hot and naked.
And
Yes, depending on where you are. Also, if it's cold, you do physical activity. The place where I work, I often get sent outside to do a manual labor job, and when it's like 30 degrees out, it's actually nice. Last night I was doing it in just a sweatshirt. I got cold towards the end of the night, but because I was constantly moving and, pushing heavy things for a long period of time, I kind of kept my body temperature pretty moderate.
That's what she said.
I had major nipsicles by the end of the job, but
That's what she said.
All right, I'm gonna tell you about mine, and then we're gonna get out of this nipsicle train wreck. Yes, cold is way better than hot, guys. Duh, it's the best.
No, I agree with you. I'm just saying it's
I'm with
bothering me.
I'm not going to agree with that because I do love jumping into a pool in hot weather and wearing short sleeves at night.
I used to work at Starbucks, and I used to work the early shift a lot, and we'd have to be there at 4:30 in the morning. And I used to all year round wear shorts because I hate pants. So cold doesn't really bother me.
Own it.
For those of you who don't know,
Damn, I just lost
Eugene
my
isn't
train of
wearing
thought.
pants right now.
You're not
And
wrong.
for those of you keeping track, that makes 2 Elsas and 2 Annas on this podcast. A very balanced podcast.
Jeez.
Me and Justin are just waiting for Mr. Right to come along and sweep us off our feet. But Eugene and Steve, they've got deep things going on, and they can't be bothered with love. They need to focus on themselves. So,
Yeah. Well, speaking of not being bothered, we're gonna get out of here because you guys are probably have had enough. The people, you guys on the internet, you guys need to do the things. We need your help. We need you guys to follow us on all the places, and the best place to start is on, I would say, probably Infendo.com. But from there, you can follow all of our things. Where can the people follow your things, Steven?
Wow, that took an oddly sexual turn. You can find me at Gentis1 on Twitter and twitch.tv/Gentis every once in a while.
Wait, we gotta back up here for a second. What?
Lucas, where can the listeners follow your thing?
Just
Steve,
rolling
that's a
right
pretty-
past it.
That's a pretty personal question to ask a guy. You can follow me on Twitter at ChromaticHue, or you can go to my website, ChromaticHue.com. Please go check me out. I'd appreciate it. Justin, where can people find you?
And your things.
You can find me and my nipsicles at Twitter at Infendo. I can't. I just I need to
Actually
again,
hurt.
You can follow me on Twitter at Infendo Justin. You can, if you're interested in the Disney project that I will definitely do something with this year, you can go to utilidork.com and follow me on the social medias there, where I definitely will have content within the coming months, I promise. And if you are listening live, I'm going to be hosting an Infendo game night tonight, probably either Smash or Kart, but we'll kind of get a feel. So go to that Twitter account at Infendo Justin, find my Switch friend code in my profile, send me a friend request, and jump into our Discord. And look for the Infendo Game Night text and voice channels if you'd like to join in.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And last but not least, me! You can find everything that I'm doing at Infendo Eugene. Make sure to follow at Infendo on Twitter as well. And like Justin said, actually, we have a nice list of friend codes if you want some friends to play with. If you just got a Switch or something, go to infendo.com/friends. I think it's friend codes or something like that. Friend-codes, or you just look in the menu and hit the friend code button. But anyways, put your friend code in that list and play some games with us. It's good times all the time. Okay, well, we did it. We're here. We're done. We made it to the end. I hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. We will catch you all next week. We're all waiting
Peace.
for it.
See you later.
Ah!
He did it too. He's like, bye.
Hasta la bye-bye.
Hasta la bye-bye. All right. That was a fun one. Yeah, that Infendo top 5 was fun, but it was long. My goodness.
Okay, well, we're
Yeah.
learning as we
which
go.
is why I was surprised we still had an Nintendo. So I'm like, can we
Maybe.
handle 2 long things?
I was really planning that to just be like a boom, boom,
Mom
boom, 15-minute segment, but I think it actually worked better the way we did it. I just
Yeah.
think we need to.
Yeah, if we want it to be shorter, If we want to be shorter, we do a top 3.
Before, say goodbye to Twitch. Goodbye, Twitch. We
Goodbye,
love
Twitch.
you.
Bye, Twitch.